Hello and welcome back to That's Football. This is the watch-along for Spain versus Russia. It is the third round of 16 match in this 2018 World Cup. How excited am I? Pretty excited, lads. I'm pretty excited, to say the least. As you guys know, I'm living in Spain, so I've got an affiliation towards them. I think... Look, it's going to be an interesting game. As I said yesterday on the watch-along for France-Argentina, this might not be the sexiest game on paper. Yes, Spain is a sexy football name, if that makes sense. They've got a fantastic team, as I'll show you guys in a minute. But Russia, football terms, they're not the biggest. They're a big country geographically, but in football terms, they're not the biggest, are they? But look, they are the home nation. They have played quite well so far this World Cup, other than the actual Uruguay game, but it should be an interesting game. Spain haven't been great. They have leaked goals. And Russia, well, as I said, Russia have scored a lot of goals, sort of ignoring the Uruguay game. And they are the home nation, which, of course, should help them. It should spur them on, shouldn't it? So, yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. For me, I'm going to ask you guys in a minute what you guys think. As always, these streams are all about you guys. So get in the comments and give me all your opinions. But for me... My head's saying Spain, because clearly, I'll read you out the team news in a minute, but my head's saying Spain. They've got a fantastic team. Yeah, we can ignore the manager situation, forget about that. They've got a fantastic team and quality to do bits, quality to do bits in this tournament, in this game as well. But my heart says Russia. I'd love a home nation to do well. They've hosted a fantastic tournament so far. We've had no reports of any violence and aggravation. It's all run smoothly. There's been no real hiccups. So, you know, not only have they hosted a fantastic tournament, but also they've, you know, it's the home nation and the underdog. I'd like to see the underdog do well. Thirdly, as well, so not only have they hosted a fantastic tournament so far, not only are they the underdog, and so naturally I'd want them to go through, but three, I obviously do have an affiliation towards England. Now, if Spain get knocked out, you've got a massive chance that England can actually go to the final, to the semi-finals, to the final. So, yeah, those are the three reasons as for why I sort of want Russia to go through. But as I said before, my head is saying Spain, and they've got a fantastic team. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Get in the comments. As I said, these streams are always about you guys, so I want to know your opinions about this game. What are your predictions? Mate, Spain is different gravy, no chance. That's the thing, Angelo. You make a good point. Look, there's always a chance. You say there's no chance, but there is always a chance. It's football. Anything can happen. You know, we've seen that this tournament so far. Germany being knocked out. South Korea beat them, you know. So anything can happen. But as you say, Spain are different gravy. They are a step above a lot of other teams. And I think they are a step above Russia. But as I said, they're the home nation, Russia. So they can... That always plays a factor in these sorts of games. Hello Shlomo, how you doing, mate? Welcome. I hope you guys are all well. A fantastic day of footy yesterday, unbelievable. Obviously, I was on the watch-along for France versus Argentina, and what a game that was. I saw a few of you in the comments saying, was that better than Portugal versus Spain? And for me, the individual games were probably... I think Portugal-Spain was probably a better individual game, but due to the fact that France-Argentina was in the knockout round, in the round of 16, that for me elevates it above Portugal-Spain, simply because knockout rounds can often be very cagey, as me and Mark have told you guys. So for that reason, I'm going to sort of pick Argentina-France. But what do you guys think? Was France-Argentina or Spain-Portugal the better game? They're very, very close, aren't they? Very close. Golovin is pants, that's from Low Fat. Golovin, it's an interesting point, isn't it? He didn't play against Uruguay. A lot of people criticising Russia based on the fact that they got battered by Uruguay, and they did. But there's a few factors to count into this. One, Uruguay are no mugs. I wasn't impressed with them in the group stage, but you saw what they can do against good teams, against Portugal last night, so they're no mugs. And two, Russia got a sending off. And that obviously played a big, big part in the result. If they didn't get the sending off, you would never see it be that significantly sort of Uruguayan win, if that makes sense. Uruguay might have won, but it would have been a lot closer than it actually was. So that's also to play. And finally, Golovin wasn't playing. I think it was due to a yellow card that he couldn't play, because if he got a yellow card in that game, he would have missed this game. So he wasn't playing for whatever reason. So yeah, three big factors in that game. But yeah, Russia have played well this tournament so far. And Alexander Golovin Alexander Golovin, it's difficult to say, isn't it? He's been fantastic. He's been absolutely brilliant. And like I said, he didn't play in that Uruguay game, or he didn't start at least, but before that, he was just smashing it. And look, he does look like a standout player for Russia, doesn't he? Both were great. They were fantastic. Luca reckons France-Argentina was the better game. As I said, they were very, very close, weren't they? Sandra's looking fresh and pumped. I've got my new microphone, mate. This can sort of go. This is just for when Mark calls in. By the way, we will be getting Mark Goldbridge on. If you don't know who he is, he basically is a new and upcoming presenter on the... I'm joking. But yeah, we will be getting Mark on. I will be watching the game a little bit behind Mark. So Mark will see the goals before I do, but it doesn't matter. He can see the goals, tell us about it. I'll see it. I can, it'll be fantastic. We can all just talk about footy, and that's what these streams are all about, aren't they? Sandra, where's the new mic, mate? Russia are not a good team, haven't been for years. No, they haven't been good. They didn't have to qualify, so they'd sort of done 2 years without any competitive football. And yes, they weren't fantastic. That is true. They weren't fantastic before coming into this World Cup, but they've been good. They've been good this World Cup. Look, let's not get carried away and say, oh, Russia have been, the best thing since sliced bread this World Cup. But they have been good, haven't they? You can't deny that. They have been a good side. Son, how much does your t-shirt cost? I don't know. As always, this is my dad's. It's a Ferrari top. I like it. I think red suits me. So, Mark wore his Italian top yesterday. I'm wearing an Italian top today. Guys, get in the comments. Betting 1,000 for Spain. Well, that wouldn't be a bad bet. It'd be a bit silly, but I wouldn't recommend anyone to bet that amount of money unless you're sort of made of it. But no, I am going with the Spain win, and if I had to predict, as I said, get your predictions in. I'm going to read them out and react to them as well. But my scoreline prediction is probably, my head's telling me 3-1 Spain. 3-1 Spain, because they are, as a lot of you have said, a better team than Russia. So my head's saying 3-1 Spain, my heart's saying 2-1 Russia, 1-1 until the last minute, they get a set piece, bang, 2-1 winner. That's what I'm hoping for. My head's not telling me that that's going to happen, but there you go. Pankaj says 3-0 Sander, interesting. Elliot H says, my dad bet 3-1 for Spain. He bet 11 grand he's bet, Elliot. Jesus Christmas. Jesus Christ. 11 grand. Sander's going to break the new mic in the first video with it. Yep, probably will. Mini Diver reckons it'll be 3-1. Pankaj says 3-0 Spain. Lamia Seed says 2 or 3-0 Spain. I'm going for a shock Russia win. Now, I was listening to Phil Neville before the game started. Well, it's not started yet. I have got the timer there, by the way, lads, and we will be getting Mark on as well. But, yeah, just before I went live, I was listening to a bit of the punditry. Phil Neville. And look, he doesn't know much, big old Phil Neville, but he was going with a Russia shock win. We have got Mark on. Can you hear me, pal?
Yeah, perfectly, mate. How you doing? All right?
I'm doing well. I'm holding up. I'm very excited today, as I was saying before you joined. Look, my head's going with Spain and my heart is going with Russia because they're the underdog, because they're the home nation. Are you sort of similar to me in that sense?
Yeah, I think there's a massive gulf in class between Spain and Russia. I think it would be great for the tournament if Russia could win it because they're the hosts. And Spain, for me, are still the complete team. But I think it's a big, big ask for them to do it. I mean, Cherchev on the bench is not a surprise. I think they're going to go, keep it quite tight. But I like the Spain look. I like the Spain lineup with Isco and Coke and Asensio all starting in the same team. It's a little bit more. I like Iniesta, but I just think Iniesta symbolises the sort of football I don't like at Barcelona and Spain. The overpass, everything like that. I think Asensio and Isco and Coke just bring something a little bit different.
Well, I haven't actually read the team news out yet. I've just been talking about sort of my initial thoughts. But in terms of the team news, a few little leaks there from Mark. It's De Gea. This is Spain. It's De Gea in goal. Nacho at right back, who of course scored that fantastic goal against Portugal. Gerard Piqué, Sergio Ramos, Jordi Alba, and then as you say, Mark, Koke, Sergio Busquets, and then David Silva, Isco, Asensio, and Costa as well, Diego Costa. So as you say, it's an absolutely fantastic side with an abundance of quality and I do think, as a commenter said, they're a different grade. They're a step above Russia, aren't they? But I hope Russia can do something and nick a win. But yeah, quickly as well, on Russia, as you said, Mark, no Cheryshev. Now, Golovin is playing. He didn't play against Uruguay, he didn't start. Why do you think they've dropped Cheryshev for today then, pal?
Well, he didn't play the first game. He came on for somebody who was injured and he got the 2 goals. I think it's because with him they're a little bit more expansive, and I think they're going to play quite defensive. I don't know whether that's a good idea or not when you look at like what Morocco did to them. So I don't necessarily agree with it, but I think that that is why they've done it. They've done it because they are going to play a little bit more defensive and on the break. And as we all know, we're going to see massive possession to Spain. And they've got the option off the bench though, obviously. I think you can get at this Spanish team. I really do. But I think they'll be too strong to get through this. But I would agree with you. Head says Spain. Heart, I just think it'd be great for the tournament. It's always great for the tournament if the hosts go deep into it.
Well, you said that they can get at Spain. Where do you think they can get at Spain? Because I'm looking at this team lineup now. You've got Nacho, Piqué, Sergio Ramos, Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets just in front of them, De Gea in goal. I'm not seeing a weakness there. Are you seeing a weakness in that defence?
I think there is a weakness there because I think that they are weak in relation to in this tournament so far. They've conceded 3 goals against Portugal. Morocco created lots of chances against them. They've got a very good set of players, but and I think that Ramos and Piqué on paper should be a brilliant centre-back partnership, but they're no Godin and Jimenez by any means. The organisation, they look a little bit ragged at the back. Even De Gea is not performing to his potential. So they've definitely got the personnel and they can easily grow into this tournament. But at the moment, I just don't think that Spanish team looks settled. Even Busquets, you can get at him. So they don't seem to have gelled as a team. But when you look at the team and the squad that they've got, for me, they are the best team. But I just think at the moment, for whatever reason, they're not settled. And as we've seen with Germany and even the Argentinians, and the results can happen. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility. People are hoping for Russia tonight.
Well, you say Spain, the Spanish team aren't settled, and I think a big part to play in that is what we saw happen 2 days before the World Cup started with the manager getting sacked. That's never going to be comfortable for the team. That's never going to settle a team down going into a major tournament. So I think like you say, they've got a fantastic set of players, but that manager situation might have just rocked the boat slightly. But
it's a good point. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that completely. Actually, sacking your manager a couple of days before the tournament was probably a little bit disruptive.
Well, a little bit. I think it probably is significantly disruptive, to be honest. But there you go. Of course, as always, I'm a little bit behind you guys. I've got my timer, but Mark will be seeing the goals just before I do, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. He'll sort of talk us through the goals, and I can watch it a couple seconds later. So we've got everything sorted, and I'm just excited to see what happens because hopefully we see another shock today. And look, at the end of the day, if Spain go out today, England. I mean, then I think that side of the tournament, I think the major team in that is just Croatia then, is that right? And then, I have just sort of thought that they're going to go far in the tournament, but, you've got another big team out. It does look positive for England going forward.
I think if you want Colombia, England or Croatia to get to the World Cup final, Spain going out is huge to that. And that's no disrespect to Denmark and Switzerland and Sweden, but if Spain are the big team in this side of the draw, like Mexico, Brazil tomorrow, Belgium, Japan, they're on the same side of the draw as France and Uruguay. So Spain are the big team in this side of the draw. If they were to go out, Croatia, for me, England or Colombia will be in the final, which is, none of them have won it. So that would be great. So, I want Russia to win. I've got a lot of love for Spain because of De Gea. I love Spain, the country. I've become a bit bored of their football, if I'm honest, and I've said that consistently for a while. But I'm a bit excited about them tonight, this afternoon, because they are playing Asensio and Isco, and I think they will be a little bit more expansive and exciting to watch.
Yeah, I think your frustration, and I echo that frustration with Spain, and the sort of brand of football that they have played for a little while now, is that when they're, tiki-taka football, it's beautiful to watch at times. When you're seeing them sort of really break down teams with fast, interchangeable play, that's fantastic. But it's at the point where they're on the wings and they just refuse to put a ball into the box when you've got a big man like Diego Costa, and it just doesn't make sense, does it? And it's frustrating to watch. So I echo your thoughts. Well, I'll throw it over to the comments. What are your opinions on Spain's brand of football? Do you like it? Do you like that tiki style of play, tiki-taka? Or like me and Mark, are you quite frustrated with it, and would you prefer to see a more direct style of play? Get in the comments. I want to know what you guys have to say on that topic. But there you go.
That's definitely what it is for me. It is that over passing of the ball, and we saw it. To be fair, we saw it from Portugal last night, and obviously Portugal and Spain are very close geographically, and I think their football's not too far apart either. Obviously, Spain have got the better players, but yeah, that over passing sometimes. Look, Uruguay's winner came from Pepe making a mistake and it finding its way to Cavani who put it in the net. And I think Spain tried to overplay it like Barcelona do. They want to score almost the training ground goal. Whereas football, actually, if you play a 50-50 risk ball into the box, yeah, it might get headed out, but it might flick off someone's foot and fall to your striker. And I don't think Spain do enough of that risk football. It's all very measured. And to me, that's a little bit boring at times.
Well, sometimes, with France, if they just had Griezmann up front and you've got no real target man in the box, I'd understand that reluctancy to put the ball in the box. But you've got Diego Costa in there. He's a big man. He can get on the end of crosses. So it's frustrating to see such a potential threat nullified by the team themselves. But I'm sure you've kicked off.
I'm off here anyway. So we're off. We've kicked off here. But,
there you go. Yeah, I'm just seeing the people shaking hands. So. There you go.
Aduntoisi says the most exciting style of play is counter-attack, or the way Colombia plays. I mean, the way France played yesterday, I don't like Deschamps, but Argentina made it quite easy for them. I mean, I can't wait to see France-Uruguay, actually, because you'll see a totally different game. It's going to be defence v attack, and that's a massive test for France now. I mean, beating a weak Argentina defence and midfield is one thing, but Uruguay, if they break them down and win well, then France become firm favourites for me because they're doing different things to win games.
Well, whoever France if they do get to the final, whoever they come up against, I have started the timer. I'm a little bit behind Mark, so there you go. That's just something we've got to deal with. But whoever France come up against in the final, it will still be an interesting game because look, they played Portugal in the Euros, and on paper, France have got a far better side than Portugal, but I think they are bottlers a little bit. So whoever they come up against, it's going to be an interesting game nonetheless. We have kicked off, lads. I'm 41 seconds into the game, but I'm sure Mark's about 1.5 minutes in.
Stuart Collins says, how does it feel, United fans, that Asensio's coming to Liverpool? Tell you what, Stuart, if Asensio signs for Liverpool, I'll run through the town I live naked in a Liverpool kit, singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" for an hour. It's never going to happen. Just a Liverpool top with no pants on and swinging around freely in the nice hot weather, singing "You'll Never Walk Alone," because he ain't going to Liverpool. Asensio's not going anywhere. Makes me laugh. Asensio is a fantastic player. Of course, Liverpool would like him, but they've just appointed the ex-Spanish coach. He's going to play Isco and Asensio, definitely. So there's no chance of that happening.
That was my next sort of topic point. Stuart Collins stole my topic, but there you go. And also, I think the Lopetegui, correct me if I'm wrong, but he obviously managed the Spain youth teams, and I think he's managed Asensio at the younger levels. I don't know whether that's true, but sort of put two and two together, it sort of makes four, but there you go.
Yeah, I would presume he has as well, but whether he has or he hasn't, it's... he's massively entrenched in Spanish football, and I think Real Madrid want to go back to that as well. So, I can't see Asensio or Isco or any Spanish players leaving, to be honest.
He's a bit of a pretty boy as well, Asensio, because I remember he couldn't play because he had an ingrown hair from shaving his legs in the Champions League. I remember that coming out. So I'm not sure whether he's up for the English weather if he's not playing for an ingrown hair.
Liverpool wouldn't be able to afford him anyway. I mean, it'd be north of 100 million straight away.
Yeah, especially with... Yeah, definitely. Well, they have still got Coutinho money to spend and Van Dijk money, because they obviously spend the Van Dijk money, but then they've still got the Coutinho money to spend as well. I know they've spent... They've bought Fabinho and Keita, obviously, but they've still got a bit of money to spend. But... how's the game panning out so far? I need to keep an eye on it because it's very easy to get tracked away with the comments and start talking about general football topics. But this is a watch along, so let's keep an eye on the game.
Well, it's all Spain, but not. I've watched Brazil in this tournament, and I think Brazil start games on fire. Whether it's the second half or the first half, the first 5 minutes they really get at teams. Russia are on a bit of a break here, but most of it's been Spain. But there's a corner here for Russia, but not troubling Russia. And from Russia's point of view, the longer they stay in the game, the better, really, because then Spain start to concern themselves a little bit. But you're in Spain, Xander. Is it, what's the feeling in Spain? Is it empty streets and, everyone's focused on it, or are people concerned?
No, everyone's up for it. Everyone is up for it. I mean, I was just, obviously, the other day, I was bringing Megan to the airport, and that was on the day of Iran-Spain. And I mean, you saw people with flags around them walking through the streets. They're a very patriotic country, Spain. But the general consensus coming into the World Cup was we're not actually going to do that well, to be honest with you. But I think as they go on and as they start to beat teams, that will change. But yeah, that's the general consensus. They are up for it. Put it that way. They're very, very up for it.
A good comment here from Mini Diver about Golovin. Was meant to be going to Juventus, but looks like he could be going to Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea have always had quite good Russian links. Abramovich, obviously, the owner, but they have had there's a guy playing here today, I think, who used to play for them as well. Was it Zhirkov?
I don't know.
I'm sure he was there.
I don't know. Yeah, Juventus would suit Golovin, to be honest. I think that's the sort of level he's got to go to. But Chelsea would make sense as well, to be honest. It would make sense. Liverpool win some trophies. That's from Pankaj. You're going to be waiting a little while for that, pal. Unless you disagree with me, in which case, get in the comments.
Just a few numbers for people to keep an eye on. If you're not watching in HD, I know it can be difficult. So you've got Asensio's number 20, Isco's 22, David Silva you'll see because of his hair. Costa is obvious, and Coke is number 8, and yeah. And probably another one to keep an eye on is Alba 18, because they can sort of merge into one player if you're not careful. So they're your key Spanish numbers.
And Golovin's number 17 for Russia. So there you go. But correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, but I think you said you weren't very impressed with Isco against Portugal. Is that right?
I don't know. I don't remember saying. I was quite drunk watching that match.
I don't know.
I was just enjoying it, so I don't think I would have been of a mindset to analyse it. But
yeah, well, for me,
I think I preferred. I don't think he did a lot. I like Asensio. I do like Asensio. So, he got the goal, didn't he? He got a goal against Morocco, I think. So.
I think Isco, mate. Honestly, I think he's one of their best players. He's so I really, really rate him. I think, as I said, he's one of their best players, and look out for him today. I honestly, I rate him so highly. As George Carl says, Isco is a phenomenal player. What do you guys think of Isco? I know he's a bit of a controversial player. Some people like him. Some people have their doubts. What do you guys think? Isco, do you rate him like George and me? Or you're not as big of a fan? Or do you prefer an Asensio, maybe? I think they're both great players.
I think he'd be perfect for Man City.
Yeah, yes, you're spot on there, mate. With their style of play as well, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're spot on.
I think that's where he'd go as well. Oh, a little bit of nearly a break for Russia.
Knocking it.
And that's what Russia are going to try and do in this game, is just hit them on the break.
It is all Spain, though, isn't it? It is all Spain.
Keep the men behind the ball when Spain have got it.
Well, yeah, it is all, like you say, they are trying to counter-attack. It is all Spain possession-wise. But as you say, look, yes, Spain have had more of the ball, but Russia, this is their game plan. So they'll know what to do. They'll be confident in their game plan and in the sort of tactics their manager's given them. And just try and follow that throughout. So if you're Russian or you're supporting Russia, nothing to really worry about at the moment, but Spain have had more of the ball.
Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're hoping to hit 41,000 today. So if you are new, bottom right-hand corner, subscribe. We're live for every World Cup game. Croatia, Denmark tonight, isn't it? And really looking forward to the games tomorrow. Lukaku now. Is it Lukaku versus Kane in the Golden Boot? I don't necessarily think so. I think Diego Costa's on 4 as well, isn't he? So he will fancy him. Or is Costa on 3? I get confused. But Harry Kane out there at the moment. Mbappe probably going to have a big say in it as well. So Ronaldo bows out on his 4. He won't be winning it. So lots to keep your eyes on. Yes. I don't think Croatia-Denmark tonight's a foregone conclusion either. I do think Croatia will win it, but I think it will be a little bit closer. And penalties have yet to make an appearance yet. They definitely will at some point.
Well, I think talking about Croatia-Denmark tonight, I've said it numerous occasions on the stream so far, but for me, Croatia, I really want them to go far, and I think they can go very, very far. I think they've got a fantastic side. So, like you, I think Croatia will win tonight. But, Denmark are no mugs. They will put up a fight. They have got a few danger men as well. So, it's going to be an interesting game regardless, isn't it?
Well, next weekend, when you think about it, could be, I think the quarterfinals are Friday, Saturday, and you could have, we've definitely got France-Uruguay, which I think is going to be an intriguing game. And then from today's game, we could, if it goes to what people think, have Spain-Croatia, which should be an amazing quarterfinal. If it goes how we think it's going to go tomorrow, you're probably going to get Belgium versus Brazil, I would have thought, which is again going to be a great game. And then, well, actually, England or Colombia, Sweden, Switzerland. So that, if it's England or it's Colombia, they'll be fancying their chances. But then Sweden have caused so many shocks in this tournament. So the quarterfinals are looking absolutely lit, which is amazing when you think that Italy never came, Chile never came,
Holland
and Argentina are gone, Germany are gone. So
Holland aren't in it.
It's great.
In it.
Holland as well, yeah, your team.
Yeah. Talking about those games there, mate. Unbelievable round of 8 quarter-final fixtures there. So very, very excited. A lot of positive things upcoming.
Just had a little break in the play here because Nacho, obviously Nacho in that battle for the best right-back goal of the tournament with Pavard. He just took a little bit of a clattering there. I don't think there was a yellow card, but he has hurt himself a bit, and I think it was one of those injuries where there shouldn't be a yellow card, but it was quite a nasty collision.
Oof, mate, you know what? If he connects with that straightened leg on Nacho's leg, that's a leg breaker, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah.
Well, if he got...
Oh, it's an own goal. I don't know whether Ramos is claiming it, but it looks like, I don't know whether there's a foul here.
I can hear the neighbours. I can hear the neighbours.
Yeah, they're not appealing it, so it will be a goal to Spain. But by the time you see it, Xander, we haven't seen the replay yet, but it looks very, very scrappy. It's resultant from this foul on Nacho, which clearly was a foul, and nobody seems to attack it as it comes in. And I don't know whether Ramos gets it on the volley. He does, but...
Yeah, I've seen it now, yeah.
Hard to tell if it's well, George Cole says it's an own goal.
I think it is an own goal as well.
And that's exactly what Spain need. Exactly what Spain need. It's a lucky goal, but those sort of goals change the game. And I think there was a little bit of fouling there, but when you watch it back, it's probably more the Russian on Ramos. And we've seen a lot of that in this tournament as well. Players focusing more on the player than the ball. Just go and win the bloody ball.
Yeah, I think, like you say, it's exactly what Spain would have wanted, isn't it? I think it is an own goal, to be honest. But I think it's exactly what Spain would have wanted, an early goal to get them up and get them confidence, knock Russia down, and now Russia in the back of their heads will think, well, we need a bloody goal now, don't we? So yeah, I think it's positive for Spain, definitely. I think it is an own goal as well.
Lamaya side's correct though. Now Spain can control the possession and grind Russia down. So
yes, yeah.
It's not necessarily great from that point of view. But then again, when has this tournament gone by the script? So,
well, yeah, we weren't expecting for Argentina to get a goal back yesterday, were we? And they did. So there you go. It's an own goal. That's from DJ. Yeah, everyone in the comments saying it's an own goal. I think it is, lads. I do think it's an own goal. Do you know who put it in their own net?
Number 4. Have a look.
That number 4
I'll never pronounce his name.
Ignashevich.
Ignashevich,
yeah. You mean you Manchester United fans get to see a taste of what Asensio brings to Liverpool next season? Well, someone I'll have whatever Stewart's having. I'll have whatever Stewart's having because that he must be in the clouds at the moment. Asensio wouldn't like to come to a trophyless and a lot of Liverpool and Asensio talk in the comments. It's all well and good, but we have got a game on there. About 13 minutes into it now. Russia knocking it about. They are going to have to up it now, and it is early in the game. But as time goes on and Spain keep possession, Russia will start to become slightly more and more frustrated, and that won't necessarily work in their favour. Wira says, Cheryshev, where are you? Cheryshev is on the bench. I think, as Mark said before the game kicked off, that's a defensive sort of change in the side. More of a counter-attacking team that they're fielding at the moment. Ramos, yeah, that's good, isn't it? Young Lord says, Ramos celebrates like he scored a stunner. It's true, isn't it? He's done a Harry Kane and tried to claim that goal. He has. He's wheeled off, acting as if he's scored an absolute banger.
Well, he'll have upset a lot of Liverpool fans with that goal anyway.
Why?
So there's always a positive. Well, they hate him, don't they?
Oh, yeah. I think he's a bit of a...
Oh, he's a big... Yeah.
Yeah.
You take him any day on your team because
100%.
he's a winner.
100%. That's exactly what... I do the same. I'll be honest with you. I hate to admit it, but... You know, I would go to those sorts of lengths to win, and you know he's the one with 3 or 4 Champions League trophies now, so he's not going to be complaining, is he? But yeah, it is still all Spain. They have still got the ball. Nothing's really changed in that sense. They are dominating possession, and they will just look to break down Russia at this point. I hope we don't get just a bit of a bland game where Russia are sitting back and can't really get forward. Spain keep the ball and try and break him. I'm hoping that's not the sort of game we're going to get. He never touched. Ramos is a leader. I would take it. Exactly. Look, you can say he is a bit of a, insert expletive, but he is a fantastic player. He's a leader. He's a winner, and he's a fantastic centre back. So yeah, there you go. Ramos is great. Is greatest with Suarez. I agree with the first
Curry
part.
Bunny says that, do you think England can beat this Spain team? It's a good question, actually. I was thinking about this last night. England could be out on Tuesday night and everyone will go, always knew it was a rubbish England squad. Oh, we only beat Panama and Tunisia, and the criticism will be back. Or they can beat Colombia and the enthusiasm will be massive because it's like, oh, we can definitely beat Spain, Switzerland or Sweden to get to the semi-final. And then who knows? So it's all about Tuesday night for England. But you can't answer a question about England at the moment because
they haven't been tested.
They haven't played anybody good. So they could play well against the Spain or they could get torn apart. You just don't know. We'll find out on Tuesday what England are all about, really.
Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing more to add, really. I echo those thoughts exactly. As you say, they've not been tested. They haven't played anyone of any real quality. I mean, you could argue Belgium, but that was a second-string side. It was a bit of a chess match. Both teams clearly didn't quite know how to go about it, and they haven't properly been tested yet. But I think Colombia will be then we'll know. Well,
it's all Spain at the moment, and they're pushing for another goal, just playing in between the lines, and it works quite well actually because, as Xander said, because they've got Diego Costa, they've got something a little bit different up front, and they still are this little tiki-taka team, but there's a little bit more direction there than maybe there has been in previous years.
Yeah, and you can, they're more of a threat off set pieces. They have obviously got Sergio Ramos and obviously then Diego Costa as well. And if they feel the need that they want to catch Russia, off guard, they can just whack a ball in the box and see how Diego Costa gets on with it. So, yeah.
Frank says Russia are crap. Well, to be fair, this is the thing. Russia were crap before the tournament, and they came into the tournament with very little hope. So they probably exceeded expectations getting out of their group. So, and
don't forget as well, they hadn't played any competitive matches for 2 years because they were the home nation. They didn't need to play any qualifiers. So they're coming into the tournament a little bit cold. And yes, they only played Egypt and Saudi Arabia, but they did spank them. And then the Uruguay game was a little bit off because they got the red card. But they're not a bad side. They're not a great side. Like I said before the game, I do expect Spain to win, but they are the home nation and anything can happen in football. This World Cup has been full of shocks and full of upsets, and this could be no different. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Saying that though, as we speak, it is all Spain. Thoughts on auto qualification for the host? It'd be so strange for Russia to host it, but Russia not be in it, wouldn't it? So there you go. Thing is though, Qatar is that 2022? What's their team going to be like? Do you know what I mean? That's just going to drop the quality of the games, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know how good Qatar are.
No, I mean, I
I
don't.
imagine they're not that good. I don't remember ever seeing them anywhere near a tournament in the past, but maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know.
It's 75% of the possession for Spain at the moment. I think coming into this game, that's something we could have all predicted, but it is happening now. It is in the flesh, and they are just trying to break down Russia at this point. Poor pass there, but
Bay Sky Gaming's just subscribed. Cheers, pal. If you are new, make sure you do subscribe and get involved in watch-alongs for every single game. Join the community. I'm sure we will get some controversy at some points in this game.
yes, well, join the community, as you say, Mark. We're live with every single World Cup game here doing a watch-along. So, get involved. It's a fantastic community we're building up. And as Mark always says, it's so much better to watch it with people in the comments and me and Mark than it is to just watch it on your own. It gives you people to debate with, opinions, fresh ideas. And it's I've enjoyed the World Cup significantly more than I would have watching it on my own. So, it's fantastic, the amount of people that are getting involved. So, continue to do so. And I hope you're enjoying the streams.
Stuart's on a thin ice. I've just seen a warning from George. Oh, go on, Stuart, do it. See what happens if you do it again.
He's got a finger wagging.
He's had a finger wagging from George. You don't want that.
Oh, dearie me. Hopefully an Asian or African team can do well in Qatar. I'm sick of the same teams winning it. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, but no African teams done better than a quarter-final. No African teams ever got to a semi-final. Is that right?
Yeah, I think Cameroon 90 and I don't know, was it Nigeria 94? But definitely Cameroon in 90. None through the group stage. I've got to be honest, I'm very disappointed in African football again. I thought the Senegal team was decent. I thought Nigeria were decent, and I would have expected at least one of them to get through. But I think Senegal were unlucky to a certain extent. I mean, the way Japan behaved was not great. But having said that, Senegal led in the second game against Japan twice, and I thought they switched off defensively. So, yeah, they should have gone a little bit further, but did they have the quality to go beyond the first knockout game? It's a bit like what we were saying about Argentina yesterday. I know everyone was like, oh, no, Argentina didn't deserve to go through anyway. Well, 3 days later, they're out anyway, so what does it matter? So, just because you get out of the group, you can be going home very quickly afterwards.
Didn't Senegal beat France in 2002? How far did they go then?
Oh, Joydeep's saying Senegal went to the semis. So, yeah, maybe that's right. I read that before the World Cup, that Cameroon quarterfinals is the ceiling for African football. So maybe the article I read was wrong.
It's weird, though, isn't it? Because the African continent, they've got fantastic players, don't they? I don't quite... Why do you think that they don't exceed in World Cups?
I don't know. Maybe it's a lack of belief, or maybe it's a lack of playing against European opposition. I don't know, because the qualifiers, I suppose, are a lot more competitive. But I don't know. I don't know why it is.
It's weird. It's weird because they've got they should have hosted the 2022 World Cup in US, Colombia, Australia. Even the British. I don't know.
Senegal got to the quarterfinals in 2002, so we were right. They didn't get to the semis.
So the captain of that team was actually the manager of the Senegalese team in this tournament, which is a little fun fact for you. Cisse is his name. Well, that's his surname.
Free kick here for Russia. That they can put one into the box.
Yes.
They've got some height anyway.
Well, Spain are good defensively from free kicks and set pieces, aren't they? You look at Gerard Piqué, Sergio Ramos, both fantastic aerially, so they should be okay from set pieces. I'll say that, they're going to score now, Russia.
Yeah, it's not come of anything, but and Spain are about to get rid of the ball now, so...
Yes. I used to be a big fan of the Ivory Coast team. The Ivory... How do they not progress? I mean, they've got Bailly. What else have they got? Yaya Torres getting on. Zaha. Is he playing for Ivory Coast? Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, they've got a few good players. I mean, you get what you deserve.
I suppose it's whether you've got a team, isn't it? It's like Egypt have got Mo Salah, but are they a good team?
It's like Argentina on a sort of scale, isn't it? They've got fantastic attackers, but they're not a rounded off team defensively and in the midfield. So, you're
better off having 11 Jordan Hendersons than you are having
spot on, mate.
3 Mo Salahs, because if the rest of your team's crap.
Yeah.
I think this tournament's shown us that it's about teams, isn't it? we lost Messi and Ronaldo yesterday. Clearly the two best players in the world by a long way. And they're out because their teams around them aren't quite good enough. Whereas Uruguay, all right,
Yes.
yeah, they've got Suarez and Cavani, but behind them they had an amazingly well-organised team.
Spot on. That's exactly that Uruguay. I know they've got good players, Godin, Jimenez, but it is a more rounded team than the likes of Portugal and Argentina, as you say. So yeah, I mean that's the beauty of the World Cup, isn't it? You know, you can come into it if you don't have that team spirit. Which is why I think England have sort of suffered. Like you say, the rounded off team is something England haven't had with Gerrard and Lampard. That I've heard you talk about it a lot. They should have put Carrick in there, and that sort of messed up the team dynamics. But yes, it's
No, still, I'm not saying Henderson's good. What I'm saying is I'd rather have 11 average players than 4 good players and 7 shit ones. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Henderson's good at all. Quite the opposite. I'm just saying he's average.
I knew you were going to go there.
You've got a better team if you've got 11 average players than 4 good ones and 7 rubbish ones. And I think maybe that's the problem with Ivory Coast. Maybe they have got 3 or 4 really good players, but I can't think of. In fact, a little bit of research while we're watching the game. I'm just going to have a look at the Ivory Coast lineup.
I like the Spain kit. I like it. It's nice. I saw Pancake before the game started saying someone that lives in Spain will be supporting them, but go back to 2010, mate, and then you'll realise why I'm not supporting them. Spain and Holland World Cup final, we got beat. I cried. I was 10 years of age. First time I properly got into a tournament. That Carrick's better than Henderson. Facts. I mean, is water wet? Satar says you're bitter, Mark. France and Spain have both got good team spirits. Yeah, well, I mean, I presume they'll both progress, but I think they just lack that leadership from above in terms of the manager. How Carrick has not been England's first name on the team sheet when he was at his prime still baffles me. He came out actually and said that wasn't he scared? He didn't want to play for England at times because of the atmosphere at the actual national team, which is interesting.
He definitely said he didn't enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ivory Coast, the last time they played, they had Eric Bay, Gabohu in goal, Bailly, Traore, Cannon, and Aurier as their back four. Alou, D, Seri, John Mikel Seri, Essel, Gradel, and Pepe.
That's a decent team, though.
A lot of players you've never heard of.
But that's a decent team. If you look at Aurier's decent, Bailly's decent, Mikel, Jean, Seri, he's decent as well. So they've got a few good players.
I think, again, they've got 3 or 4, maybe 5 good players, but the rest of them, how good are they?
Yeah. Thoughts on the match so far, Mark? Anvash is asking.
Boring. No, it's not boring. It's just the goal's gone to the wrong. I think you don't want Spain to score a jammy goal like that because they've got the momentum now and they've not had to work to get in front. So it's you really want the goal to go to Russia first. I mean, the game, while it's 1-0, it's certainly not boring because one goal changes the game. But I just would have liked to seen Spain have to work a little bit harder for it. But Russia do have Cheryshev who can come on. You're right in the live comments. And Spain are boring, says DJJ125. And Shlomo says, no, you're right, Mark. It is a bit of a boring game. Just going back to what Xander was saying, though, I mean, Russia are not a good team. They're sort of on a nosebleed here. And long may it continue. But they're not. They haven't got the pedigree of if this was being played out of Russia, you'd think, oh, this is a gimme for Spain. So they're comfortably the favourites to win it. But whilst it's 1-0, there's an opportunity. I mean, if it stays 1-0 till 20 minutes to go, it'd be interesting. It's just important that Russia don't concede another.
I got a little bit bored with watching Barcelona in their prime because it got to the point where it was just like, all right, you've got loads of the ball, like, well done. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just got a bit boring to watch, and I think this Spain side are very similar. They're knocking it about, they've got a lot of the ball, and they're breaking down Russia, and they are in control, but as a neutral, it's not great to watch, is it?
No, because actually there's not been any chances created.
No.
They're going side to side, forward to back to side. They're not actually.
Well, that comes from the goal, doesn't it?
creating
That comes from the goal because they know they won their luck. They don't have to have that level of urgency as they did at 0-0 because they've got the goal. They can knock it about. They're in control and they're just chilled out, So it is a shame that we saw Spain go 1-0 up. But look, we're only I'm 28 and a half minutes into it. I'm sure you're about 29 minutes into it. There's a lot of time left to go, and Russia can cause an upset. This World Cup has been full of them. So, Sander, before you are talking about Spain's tiki-taka, I think Russia know how to break it down and are pushing Spain out to the wide wings, not being able to play their passing game. Well, that's something you've got to give credit to Russia for. Look, as you say, Spain haven't created many chances, have they? And we can talk about Spain's maybe lack of urgency now that they've won their luck, but you've also got to give credit where credit's due and give Russia some praise because they haven't allowed Spain to create much, have they?
Android phones to support Spain, not evil Russia. Well, yeah, I suppose from a political point of view, I can understand that, but I don't like to mix politics with football. I'd prefer to look at it as a game of football and think about the hosts and what a great tournament it's been and how it would be nice to keep Spain have won it before as well. I have said that. I've got nothing really against Germany, but I thought it was great when they went out because it just makes it very exciting not to have so many teams in it who've won it. And at the moment, we could well see a great tournament but still end up with a Spain-France final. So that's not really what I want to see. So I would like to see Spain going out, but I think it'd be a big ask for Russia to do it. But whilst it stays 1-0, it's interesting.
Well, talking about Russia hosting the tournament, before I was rudely interrupted by copyright in that Russia-Uruguay game, I was actually talking about how we like to sort of, before the World Cup, we were criticising Russia and we were all sceptical. Will there be hooligans? Will there be violence? Russia is not a great place to host it. But they've hosted a fantastic tournament. There's been absolutely no reports of violence, hooliganism, etc. It's all been peaceful. Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. And there's been no real hiccup. So, once again, credit where credit's due. And fair play to Russia because they're hosting a decent tournament so far.
Kenneth says, thoughts on Croatia, Denmark? I think it'd be a good game. I mean, Denmark are no pushovers. Croatia would be the favourites, but that's the sort of game that if you play it 10 times, I think Denmark could get a result 4 times. So it's all about, I said last night, Uruguay, Portugal, play that 10 times. I think 5 each should win it. It just went Uruguay's way last night. Ronaldo said the same. Croatia will be marginally favourites, but Denmark, they're no mugs. They could get something. And what we haven't seen in the knockout stage yet is a red card or a dodgy VAR. And I'm sure at some point, it's probably waiting for the England game, to be honest. But that will have a say at some point. And you've got to be very careful in this tournament saying, oh, yeah, it's going to be Spain are going to win this, Croatia will win tonight, Brazil will win tomorrow, Belgium will win tomorrow night. I'll be amazed if that doesn't happen, but you can guarantee it probably won't happen. There will be a shock.
That's not football, is it? It doesn't work like that. When we were predicting it before the World Cup, that's the sort of way you go, isn't it? But Brazil topped the group, Germany topped the group, but it never works out like that. But on Croatia, Denmark, mate, you sort of think it. I personally think it's going to be. I think if you play it 10 times, Denmark win it maybe 2 or 3 times. I think Croatia are that good, to be honest. But there you go.
I really like them. I suppose the thing is, are Croatia going to do what Mexico did? Really good 2 games, and then what went wrong with them against Sweden? So are we going to see that with Croatia amazing in the group stage, and then a bad game when it really matters? But I love Perisic, Rebic. The midfield of Rakitic, Matic, the backups of Brozovic and Kovacic.
Mandzukic
up front. I think if they had a Lukaku up front or a Harry Kane up front, they'd be unstoppable.
He's there. Go on, mate.
Yeah, maybe, but Mandzukic is good, but I think if they just had a better number 9, they'd be irresistible. But he's certainly better than... I think Serbia ended up being a bit of a B-Tech Croatia. Everything that they've got is just slightly worse than Croatia, but they're similar teams. And Mitrovic is just not a Mandzukic. But I like Croatia, and I really like watching them as well. And that's the great thing.
I think, like you say with Mandzukic, he is their weak point for me. He slows them down. And if they had, like you say, a Lukaku, someone with a bit of pace and just an all-round better striker, they'd they would be a serious force to be reckoned with. But I think they are still, as you say, Brozovic, Rakitic, Mandzukic as well, but Perisic. They've got fantastic players, so definitely a team to watch out for me. So I saw a Mexican wave there, pal. What do you always say about Mexican waves?
It's not a good sign. It's not a good sign of the quality of the game if you're getting Mexican waves. And I've seen it go around. There's another one to come, Xander, keep your eye out. So that's definitely two. But that's Spain for you. I do find Spain very, very boring. I've got to be honest with you. I find them really boring.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to tweet that out now and see how many people agree. I'll probably get a load of hate as well, but I'm used to that.
I think we both are, mate, to be honest. You get it a bit more than me, but I've had my fair share as well. I think Croatia have the best midfield in the tournament. It definitely won. I don't think best. I think best is going a little bit far, but it's up there, isn't it? It is up there. Brozovic, Rakitic, Kovacic, they're all fantastic players. So, yeah. I mean, they've got Dejan Lovren as well.
No, I read something about Croatia as well, that there's some sort of system that a particular website has fed all the teams into, and it ranks them on where they are at the moment in this World Cup. And I think France are up to 4 at the moment, but Croatia are number 1, so they're ranked number 1, and it only looks at form and a load of other things within the tournament. So,
yes. Well, let's get in the comments then. We haven't spoke to the comments in a little while. Inzaghi says France is a better midfield. I think France are better than everyone I think they probably are the best team on paper, to be honest with you. So,
good chance there for Russia. Golovin, just wide. Probably the best chance of the game. Just curled it wide. You sort of watching it thinking, is it going to nestle in? But it's definitely gone wide.
I mean, we've talked about Spain's sort of weak points and negativities, but like I said before, Russia have probably done well in this game, considering the circumstances and their game plan that they set out with. So, fair play to them. If they can, I'm just seeing it back now, get forward, hit them on the break and get a lucky goal, then, Spain haven't created anything. So what's to say they can't keep it at 1-1 at that point, Russia?
Good keeping by De Gea there. I mean, people are saying it was close, but actually De Gea's got his angle spot on. Even if that's on target, De Gea's got it covered. So
Did he get a fingertip
not
on?
really as good a chance as people may have thought, if you know your goalkeeping.
Yes.
I used to play in goal a bit.
Oh, Modric as well. We've been missing Modric. He's arguably their best player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Get up, Ramos. Is he diving again? De Gea had that covered. Yeah, he did have it covered. He should have done better there, I think, Golovin. Mbappe to United. I saw a lot of people. Look, I mean, we can talk about this game, but we can talk about other football topics as well. And we saw Mbappe absolutely smash it for France yesterday. He was my and many people's man of the matches. And I think people were saying, I'd have him at United or have him at Liverpool or whoever you support. But you've got to, that's very presumptive, isn't it? Very presumptuous to say that he'd actually go to your club, because I think he's only going to go up from this point. And I think the only way up at this point is Real Madrid or Barcelona. So, it was all well and good saying, I'd have Mbappe, get him out at United now. But I don't think he'd go to United, to be honest.
I tell you what is of interest. If we do end up with a Spain-Croatia quarter-final, there's only Busquets on a yellow card for this game. Croatia have got Rakitic, Brozovic, Rebic, Mandzukic, Korluka, and Jedvaj, Pjaka, and Veselko all on yellow cards. So, if they pick up a yellow card tonight for Rakitic or Rebic or Mandzukic, that's a problem for them.
I think all those players that you've just named are quite... I think Croatia as a whole, they're quite a bitey team, if that makes sense. They like to get stuck in tackles, so that would definitely be a worry. It's something we can talk about later tonight as well.
I think England, if England are going to do well, or Colombia are going to do well, they are more than likely going to have to beat Spain or Croatia in a semi-final. And I can't... Well, unless Russia produce something here or Denmark produce something tonight. But even then, I would expect one of them at least to be in the quarterfinals, and then they'd be favourites again. But
can you imagine Spain going out and Russia going through and Denmark going through? That would be unbelievable, wouldn't it?
Russia into the box here, and they'll get another corner. Not doing too bad now, Russia, to be fair.
No.
And this is Spain's problem. All their ticky-tacky football and
led to nothing.
They've not created anything other than the goal, which was a bit scrappy. And Russia are doing things on the bench. So, on the break. Sorry, not on the bench. So still 7 minutes to go to half time. But Lucas says poor play from Russia there. Well, they're not going to have the conviction of a top side, are they? But they got a corner here, and I think we'd all love to see a Russian goal because it would just make the game a little bit more interesting.
Yes, indeed. And guys, if you haven't already, we're trying to hit obviously 41,000 subscribers today, which would be fantastic if we could do that. We can try and hit it this stream. I doubt we will, but let's give it a go. So if you haven't already, then do get subscribing and get involved. Like I said, it's a fantastic community.
Penalty.
Russia.
Penalty to Russia.
Get in! Come on! Yes.
He's got to beat De Gea.
Well, he saved Lukaku's penalty in the semi-final. Do you remember that in the FA Cup?
His hand's very high there. I think it's a penalty. Anyone else disagree? Goes over PK. The Russian heads it back towards goal. But PK's got his hand up in a ridiculously... It's not a normal position for your hand. So I think it's a penalty. I don't know what people think in the live comments, but I think it's a penalty.
We'll have to wait and see, but fantastic. Just before half-time as well. It's a bit too close for me, I think. He heads it very, very close to PK.
PK's trying to say it is close, Sander. I do agree with you. I don't know what people in the live comments are saying because I'm on a different screen at the moment, but it is very, very close.
People are saying 100% pen.
His hand's in an unorthodox position for me, and he raises it after the ball's gone. Snap says not a penalty.
I don't think that's a penalty.
Defo penalty says Will Graham. Unlucky penalty says Sean. Clear penalty says Heck. I think it was a penalty. What do you think, Xander?
Well, I'm a bit stuck at the moment because if you look at it, his arm comes down, but then he leaves it up when he's on his way down from the jump. But on the other hand, one, he is very close to him, the header, isn't it? And two, he's just not looking at the ball. Surely a handball has to be relatively deliberate, and he's got no idea where the ball is when it hits his arm. So I think it's a harsh penalty.
Oh, I thought Dave saved. He didn't. He went the wrong way, and it's 1-1. Change that score, Xander.
I'm changing it. I'm on my way, mate. I'm excited. Come on.
I think it's good for the game. It's good for the game. Whether Spain win or not, it's good for the game.
Definitely, mate. And just before half-time as well, that will put momentum into this Russia side. We saw how crucial momentum is in that game against France and Argentina. Hopefully now going into half-time, Russia will come out in the second half with that momentum. And, as you say, it's game on and it's fantastic for the neutral now, isn't it?
Well, it's fantastic because, as I always say on here, get subscribing because I'm sure we're going to carry on for the next few minutes with the next debate point in this World Cup, which will be that penalty. And, great. If you think it was, if you don't, great. Get involved in the live comments, give us your thoughts. But in the context of this game, I thought Spain's goal was a little bit lucky. And Russia, they've not really created anything else, Spain. So I think 1-1 from a neutral or from a viewer is absolutely great for the game. And I thought it was a penalty, so let the debate begin.
If that
was a penalty.
If that was me, mate, right? If that was me, if I was PK, I'd be fuming. I would be fuming because I'm not looking at the ball. I'm just jumping. I've heard you sort of argue the point before. You can't jump with like a pencil. And so for me, I would be fuming if that was given against me and my teammates. But I mean, what do you guys think in the comments, lads? As Mark says, I want to know what you guys think. Selwyn says clear penalty. Russia is the best. Definitely a penalty. 100% handball. Harsh penalty. Well, I think there you go, Mark. The comments reflect the sort of the controversy of the decision because I'm no pen. You are pen, and that just reflects on how close it was.
Definitely. I mean, John Massey says very soft penalty, and then Wirra, who I think I agree with the most, says hands not close to waist, then unnatural penalty. And the reason we'll see it back at half time, we all will, but the reason I thought it was a penalty is that it's gone over PK, he's not won it. The Russian, who's only a metre behind, has won it, headed it back towards the goal, but as it's gone past PK, he unnaturally raises his hand even higher.
Yes, yes.
The jump is over.
Yeah.
He's got the optimum trajectory of his jump. So, yeah, you do need to raise your hands when you're jumping, but he's already reached his optimum trajectory. And then when the ball's over his head, he raises his hand up.
Yeah, you're right.
Not like he's trying to handball it, but he does something that's unnatural. And that, to me, I think the ref gets it right. But I can also see why people are saying it's soft, because I think we have seen some very soft handballs. I don't think the one that, was it Iran against Portugal? I didn't think that was a penalty. But this one, it's the unnatural movement of his arm after the ball goes over, he puts it up. So for me, it is a penalty. But I think it's great. I think it's great when you get these debate points.
Because he goes up, doesn't he? He goes up with his arm stretched, and that's fine. That's fine. They're in a natural position. And then on his way down, his arms are coming down, but then you see his left arm, just go up a little bit again, unnaturally so. So, as you say, I don't think that's in an attempt to handle the ball, but it is an unnatural movement on the hand. So, it's a difficult one, isn't it? As you say, it's fantastic to get these sorts of debate points in, but I think it's
the
soft.
Interesting thing as well is, we never even saw VAR with that.
No. Well, he'd be in his ear.
The VAR people obviously said, you've got it spot on, you don't need to review it, and the referee obviously was like, no, I've got this spot on, so I'm not changing it anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they'd be in his ear saying, yeah, like you say, you got it right, mate, just continue with it. So I think it's when it comes down to opinion, the referee has his final say, but if it's clear-cut and obvious, then it's the VAR, isn't it?
I mean, there's a good question there from Bahani. Does anyone actually understand the handball rules in football? And the reality is there are rules, but they aren't always adhered to. I mean, the handball that happened against Portugal, where the ball was headed down onto a Portuguese defender from a metre away and his hands are down by his side, that's not a handball. You can't do anything about that. Your hands are in the normal position and it's not a penalty. But this one... Oh, good chat. Spain have gone up a gear here, though. Costa just getting in down the side, keeper, and then it's just gone wide. But see, Spain have been going through the motions. That's what's happened. They got that early goal, and they've tried to just ticky-taka their way. Now they're like, oh, shit, we need to go up a gear.
It's exactly what I said, isn't it? They went 1-0 up, and then they lost that urgency because they thought, well, we can just knock it about. We're up, and just, try and break us down, Russia. But now it's 1-1 all level. They're thinking, oh, shit, like you say, we've got to go out and do something here. Mark, I've looked up the definition of a handball just to actually make it clear for everyone. A handball occurs if any player other than the team's goalkeeper within his own penalty area deliberately handles the ball when in play. A ball can be handled with any part of the arm from the tips of the player's fingers right up to the shoulder. So the question to you is that deliberate?
It doesn't have to be deliberate, though, does it?
But the definition says, deliberately handles the ball.
Yeah, and that's the problem, isn't it? Because we've already seen penalties in this tournament. We see these penalties given in the Premier League where it quite clearly isn't a deliberate one. I remember many years ago, United playing at Stamford Bridge in about, it was 1-1. Cross comes in from the right. Carrick's there. His hand's out, it hits his hand from 10 yards away. The ball's travelled a long way, but it's clearly not deliberate, but you can see why the ref's given it. I think these penalties get given when they're not deliberate, and then maybe they should be following the letter of the law. I don't think, how can PK be deliberately handballing it when he's got his back to it?
Yeah.
But he's definitely got his... I think a penalty should be given in that situation, because I don't think it has to be deliberate. I think if you've got your hand in a ridiculous position, like putting it up like that, then there's always a chance that you might get the ball coming back, and why does he put his hand up so high? You leave yourself open to a penalty, I think. But yeah, I
think. Well, Slow-Mo says nah, not deliberate, and Kem says yes, it is deliberate. I think personally that wasn't necessarily deliberate, but he thought, I'll just stretch myself here just in case it does come across the box, if that makes sense, So I mean, in that case, I guess it sort of is deliberate. I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it?
We'll see it back again anyway, but the movement of the arm is just what did it for me.
Matthew McFadden says, who's to decide a player is intentionally handballing? Only the player himself can prove it. Sometimes, even when a player isn't intending to handle the ball, his arm/hand is in an unnatural position. It's a very grey area in football, isn't it? That and offsides. Grey area. But we have it at half-time, lads. I'll stop the timer. My initial reactions, I saw someone said, who's the dominant team? Now, I'll talk you through the first half. It started off, it was a clear game plan by Russia, wasn't it? Sit back, we'll defend well, and we'll try and hit you on the break. And Spain sort of dealt with that.
Here we go, Xander. Just to add to that, The document fails to describe what constitutes deliberate handball, though, which places the responsibility firmly on the referee and the referee's assistant. And the referee's panel have said that the referee's interpretation depends on whether the hand or arm is in an unnatural position at the point of contact. Referees look at two specifics. Did the hand or arm go towards the ball or in a manner which would block the ball? Or is the hand in a position where it would not normally be? Hence, I think that is why I think the deliberate handball doesn't have the clarity in the definition that we've just added there, that it becomes deliberate, not based on the intention of the player, but based on the unnatural position of the hand.
You're spot on, mate. You're spot on, because that definition does clear it up, doesn't it? That one that you've just read out in terms of PK. If it was natural, if he just followed his natural motion, his arm would have come down, wouldn't it? But he sort of just hoisted it up a little bit and left it up, which he may not. The intent may not be to handle the ball, but as you say, it wouldn't have been there if he followed his natural movement. So I think on that basis, of course, the debate will still be open, but on that basis, for me, it's a handball. I think it's a penalty, but it's a soft one, isn't it? It's a soft one.
It is.
Were you going to say anything, or should I continue?
No. I thought they were going to show us the replay of it on the telly. I'm just waiting for that, but just looking at some of the comments there. I remember Senegal was denied a penalty for a similar handball incident against Colombia. I think what would happen in that situation, I think even if the referee wasn't 100% sure, that's where VAR would come into it. And I think they're showing it again here now. And I mean, his hand is just ridiculous. It's not, you don't jump with your hand up in the air like you're asking a question of the teacher. Yeah. It's like, that's not how you jump. So the referee, and he raises it. As soon as the ball has gone over his head, he's raising his hand. I mean, Ramos is looking at him thinking, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. Ramos has got this look in his eyes like,
Yeah. Well, mate, I'm going to quickly go to the toilet, but in the meantime, can you just give your sort of first half thoughts, and going into the second half, how do you think that will play out? I'll just leave you with that.
Definitely. Well, actually, I recognise this referee from the group stages as well, and I thought he was very, very good. So there's no debate. I just think it was spot on. Joydeep says it was 100% deliberate, and it's the Barcelona tactics. First Titi, now PK, says Arsenic Gunner in case. It's an unnatural position. It's a clear penalty, says Christian Sebastian Thomason. Christian and Sebastian Thomason, are you Danish by any chance? Hope to see you later. And I hope it's a good game. And yeah, in the context of the game, I think it's a great goal. I mean, it's obviously not a great goal. Penalties very rarely are great penalties. But in the context of the game, it's great for us, the viewer, because if that's 1-0 at half-time, Spain are like, just keep the ball, and we'll hold it up, this, that, and the other. It's now 1-1. So we've had half of the game, and Russia is still banging it. And the top dominant team so far, Amvish, well, possession-wise, it's definitely Spain. But tell me what Spain have done other than score that goal. There is a United stand tonight, Schlomer. It's at 9 o'clock. Got Sophie and I don't know who else we've got on it tonight, actually.
Jared?
But Sophie's on. I'm doing the game later, Jim Jemison. But yeah, it's great because, I mean, Spain have done absolutely nothing in this game apart from score the goal. They've had loads of possession, but this is my problem with Spain. It's the tiki-taka nonsense, isn't it? It's the tiki-taka, loads of possession, but no final thing. I mean, Costa when they went 1-1, they've actually gone up a gear. Why not go up a gear anyway? And they don't do it. They just keep knocking it around, waiting to score the perfect goal. When you've got a number 9, you can put it into the mixer with. So I think Spain will have had a bit of a wake-up call now. I'm sure Russia are going to get tired in this game because they're having to do a lot of running. But in the context of the game, I think it's absolutely brilliant because we, again, in this World Cup, are getting entertained. Every game is giving us entertainment. And I said this to Zandy yesterday. I've watched many World Cups, and the group stage can be brilliant. And this is arguably the best group stage we've had. It's up there, definitely. But then you go into the knockout stage, and it can be a little bit dull because teams are so concerned about going out. It can get very, very tight. And even in a very tight game last night between Portugal and Uruguay, we still had a really entertaining game. Obviously, the France game had loads of goals in it. And this again today. Spain, massive favourites. The Russians get back into it just before half-time. So we're getting so much entertainment. So it's brilliant. I'm really, really enjoying it.
So seeing
Hope Russia wins. Spain are World Cup of Arsenal, says Big Boss Fredo. DJ Burns TV says España. I love Spain. I go on holiday to Spain regularly. Mallorca, I absolutely love it.
I heard you talk about that yesterday.
but I just don't find this Spain team very entertaining. Some people would absolutely love it. It's just not my cup of tea, this football. And I often get asked what my cup of tea of the football is. And I grew up with Manchester United, where they, 4-4-2 doesn't really exist anymore, but it was fast, attacking, risk-taking. Possession stats were very rarely above 60%, but they'd be the dominant force because when they attacked and they'd go down the width, they'd put crosses into the box where midfielders would commit themselves and get in there. And, I like that sort of football. It's what I grew up on. I'm not really a massive fan of this possession-based football. Feel your way into the game, wait for the perfect opportunity. I just find it slow. That's my thoughts. Where's it going to go in the second half, Sander, do you think?
I'll be honest. I think Spain are going to grind it out, to be honest with you, mate. I think just seeing that first half, yes, they did step off a little bit when they went 1-0 up, but I just think they've got too much quality for Russia to deal with, and ultimately, I do think Spain will win. I hope not. I hope Russia can cause an upset, but my head, it's difficult to go against Spain with the quality that they've got, isn't it?
Yeah, Hex is 44, MNK7 says 2-1 to Spain. Vamos Español, says Envish. And I think 3-2 Spain, says DJ Burns. Man United fan Stan says, who do you think plays more boring, Manchester United or Spain?
Man United.
Probably Manchester United, to be fair. But no, I'd agree. I think Spain went up a gear when it went 1-1. And I think that would be worrying if you want Russia to win, because it just shows you that quality gap is there still. And
seeing that first goal,
Russia just have to keep believing.
Seeing that first goal, though, pal, like, if you look at that first goal, if that didn't actually end up in the back of the net and it went out for a corner or whatever, is that a shout for a penalty then? Because he was all over him, he was grappling him, and he went down with him. That obstructing play, wasn't looking at the ball whatsoever. I think if it didn't end up in the net, you might have seen a penalty given, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it looked like it was... It looked like it was yeah, I'd agree.
So what you guys said in the comments said Suarez is a racist. I mean, it's factual. I wonder if the Spain players will have belly aches when they come out for second half. Spain actually haven't even scored a goal though. What do you? I don't know what you mean. I mean, they have. What? I don't know what you mean, pal. Spain to retain possession of the ball for most of the game and kill it off with 2 goals from around the 65th to 85th minute. You know what? Alec Dukas, I think that's a spot-on prediction. Anything can happen, and as we've seen this World Cup so far, things don't happen and things don't go to plan always. But if you had to predict and had to put money on it, you would say that Spain would kick the ball, get a goal in the 65th minute, the game will be done, and they'll get another one in the 85th. That is a sensible prediction, but I hope that's not the way it goes, to be honest.
Stuart saying you've got no proof that Suarez was a racist. Well, we don't want to get into that sort of thing. No. It's obviously in the past, but I think Stuart, I think what Xander's saying when he's saying it's factual is that the words that Suarez used could be perceived as being racist, and ever did perceive them to be racist. I think Suarez' defence was that in his culture, that sort of word can be a word of affection, which I don't know. I'm not Uruguayan, but the reality is when it comes to racism, it's about the perception of the victim, isn't it? And obviously that word or those words that he used, Evra took offence to. But we don't want to go down that. I mean, look, whatever anyone thinks about Suarez, he's a very good footballer. I wouldn't want him anywhere near my club. It wouldn't matter if he was the best player in the world. But that's the sort of divide that someone like Suarez brings into it. But I am looking forward to Uruguay versus France. I think that's going to be great. And I do agree with a comment earlier there that if Spain were to go out of this tournament, it would be wide open. Spain are the one that I feel have got to go out. I think when Germany went out, it was like that's one of the two that need to go out. And obviously France can still win it and Brazil can still win it and they will be favourites. But the more of these teams that are perceived winners and favourites that go out, the better. And I just felt going into this tournament, Spain and Germany are the ones that I'd be most worried about. So I would like to see Spain going out for that reason because I want to see an underdog win it or somebody who's not won it before.
Yes, indeed. I think so as well. I think Brazil, Spain and France are the three serious favourites, I think. But we've got a contribution here from John Massey. Thanks for your contribution, pal. He says, Suarez bites people, end of story. Once again, I mean, let's not get into it, but it is factual. 3 times. But there you go. So on the next goal is crucial. Who scores next wins. I'm not sure whether it's who scores next wins, but as you say, the next goal is absolutely crucial. If Russia get it, I mean, we've seen that they can defend well and they can shut a team out. Spain will no doubt at that point ramp up the pressure, but if Spain get it, I think personally it's game over. So the next goal is crucial, isn't it? It is.
Definitely.
I have this hunch where Brazil might go down to Belgium. What do you think, Mark Sander? I might go down to Belgium. Oh, might go out to Belgium, I think he means. Yeah, I mean, Belgium are a fantastic side.
Just for a weekend, I think.
Yeah, just, pop
get
off.
Away.
Yeah, exactly. Have a few. I think Belgium are a fantastic side. It's just, like France, they've got a tall who's managing them, and I think they lack that lead. They lack that something. I think if you put a special manager, maybe a Zidane in charge of France or Belgium, you'd see a serious team. They're good teams now, but if you put a decent manager in there, you'd see serious teams.
We're only 91 subscribers away from 41,000. We've got about 600 people watching, and so if you can hit the share button. It's underneath the screen that you're watching it. Just share it on Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media you're on. It takes 1 click, and we really appreciate it. Let's see if we can hit 41,000 today. It'd be brilliant. If England win the World Cup, he's going to dye his hair green, says Andrew Kidd. And we are doing the next game, DJ Burns. Be live just about 6:45 for that UK time. And Young Lord says, I really hope Brazil get knocked out tomorrow. Well, Mexico are my team. And DJ Burns TV is subscribed. Welcome to the channel if you are new. Live for every World Cup game. It's a channel for everybody. As you can see from the comments, it gets a little bit lively. As long as there's no abuse in there, we're not bothered. That's what this channel is all about. Doesn't matter who you support or where you're from, what your opinion is. As long as it's not got any abuse, that's what this channel is all about. And Lee subscribed a month ago. I hope you're enjoying it, pal. So, yeah, we're a little bit different to other channels. I do the United Stand, which is Manchester United based, and we get a little bit of banter in there. But this is a brilliant community because you've got so many different views, so many different sort of supports. And if you do support Denmark tonight or you support Croatia, get on in the live comments because it's a bit like rugby. We mix everybody together here. There's no segregation.
Spot on. Good. You can tell you've done that for a little while, haven't you, Mark? You hit the nail on the head there, pal. Definitely. I'm just loving doing the streams, mate. I just absolutely love doing it. So thanks for everyone that does tune in and does support the channel because it does mean so much. Sonoma, if you
I don't think the hair could have done anything on the penalty, Adam. Yeah, no. I agree. I can't believe that there was some debate that he should have been dropped today. Penalty, if you save it, you're the hero. If you don't save it, unless you've done a big mistake, it's never going to be the goalkeeper's fault. No, you can't expect, you can never expect a keeper to save a penalty, can you? If he saves it, brilliant, as you say, you're the hero. But unless you fumble it, or you fumble it, then it's sort of, there you go. That's an interesting question there from Shlomo about who's doing the final, because it depends who's in the final. I would have to say, if England get to the final, I would have to debate whether I even do a stream. Because if England get to the final, that's the sort of thing that you may never get in your life again. And as much as I'd love to do the stream, I just think maybe that would be wrong of me, and maybe I should be with family and friends to watch that. But maybe I could get a live stream in there. So we'll see. It's a long, big stretch away to the final. 2 weeks today. And I'd be stunned if England got there. I'd be happily stunned. But if they did, I don't necessarily know whether I would do a stream or not, because it's one of them lifetime moments, isn't it?
It's very presumptive to think that England are going to get to the final. But, well, there you go. I'm available.
It's I'm just kicking off on my screen now anyway. So Russia are going right to left, and let's see how it goes. But I'd still fancy Spain in this, even though I'd bloody love it if it wasn't. But a little bit of a mistake there from Spain, and Russia are on the attack again now.
Who's the guy that they've brought on? Granat?
I didn't notice any subs. I'll have to check in a minute.
Yeah, they've brought on number 14, Granat. Now, I don't know anything about him. If you guys can get in the comments and tell me what he brings differently, or I don't know. But they've brought on number 14, Granat. There you go. Yeah, I've not kicked off yet, but Oh, shit, there we go. Kicked off. Sana, do you think Russia will win? I mean, it's still 1-1. Anything can happen. Russia didn't do too badly in that game, and they're still well in it. It's a proper game now, isn't it? I mean, they've won it high at the field here where I'm watching it, but, anything can happen, mate. Anything can happen. That's all I'll say. Imagine a Sweden-Uruguay final. Every prediction down the drain. Yeah, exactly. Sweden-Uruguay. Imagine that. Be brilliant.
There's a good comment here from Mark, Man United, who says that everyone's saying De Gea's had a bad tournament, but what about Ramos and Piqué? Too slow in this World Cup and overrated. And I think they've made a lot of mistakes in this World Cup. That one, was it Morocco's first goal? Piqué. Today, Piqué. They've been, I don't know whether there's a bit of an issue between Ramos and Piqué, because
there might be, mate.
Godin and Jimenez obviously play for the same club, great understanding. Piqué and Ramos, really good centre-backs, but obviously no love lost between Real Madrid and Barcelona. And I don't know whether they have that...
But do you know what it is as well? A little bit of insight for you. Basically, the Spanish nation hate Piqué because he's pro-Catalan independence. So, I mean, that doesn't go down well for sort of non-Catalan independence people, if that makes sense. So, yeah, they hate him. They don't want him to play. They often whistle him when he's on the ball, the Spanish fans. So, I mean, Ramos clearly isn't a pro-Catalan independence, so that might be it. There's definitely no love lost there.
Apparently we missed the super chat, which I've just found, which was John Massey saying, why doesn't Mark Skype in so we can see both of you? I am Skyping in, but visually, these graphics, they take time to do, and this has sort of been a new thing that we've tried in the knockout stages, so we just don't have a graphics card to sort of add me in visually without it looking stupid and shortening the live comments. So that's basically the reason. I think
it works all right like this as well, to be fair. I don't think it's too... I think this works well. No, they never form a partnership for Spain. Would you rather England getting into the final and getting destroyed, or getting to the semi-finals and losing on penalties? There you go, Mark. There's a question for you.
Semi-finals, I think you get more of a feeling of what could have been, rather than getting absolutely smashed in a final.
Yeah, I'd agree. Interesting comment here by Manchester Skulls. He's always a good commenter, Manchester Skulls, isn't he? He says, problem is Spain don't have that next centre-back crop ready yet. Because I do think, how old is Piqué? He's getting on a bit now, isn't he?
Yeah, it must be. It's his 30s.
I don't know who they've got coming through. It's a good point. I'm looking at the subs bench. I'm not seeing anyone, and I don't know of anyone that's Spanish and really coming through as a centre-back. But it is all Spain so far this half, isn't it? Once again. I think you're going to see them dominate possession. You saw it in the first half, and I'm no doubt you'll see it in the second half. But if Russia can hold out like they did in the first half and stop Spain creating and get that lucky goal, not lucky, but get that goal on the break or from a set piece, anything can happen. It's definitely a possibility still. Bartra, but he's not a Sergio Ramos quality of player. Azpilicueta, yeah, how old is he? He can't be that young. Azpilicueta is... Azpilicueta's 28. That's not a young crop, is it? That's not a seed, is it? That's going to grow into a fantastic flower. He's ready. He's what he is now. He's not going to improve and develop much from what he is now. So he is a fantastic player, but Bartra is 27 exactly. He's not. There you go. They're already fully formed centre backs. We are due a penalty shootout. Mark, what's your verdict? I love penalty shootout. I presume you don't, as an Englishman, but I bloody love them. I think they're fantastic.
I don't mind it as long as England aren't involved. If England are involved, it's not nice to watch.
I haven't got a horse in the race, so I'm sort of just hoping for penalties, to be honest. It's exciting. I don't think it's necessarily a fair way to settle a game, because it is a bit cruel, isn't it? But there you go. I enjoy the drama of it. What do you think about diving in football games? It's horrible to see, isn't it? But it's so difficult to stop it. I think the only way to stop it is to go full on cold turkey and just every single dive is a red. I mean, that's the full way to stop it, you know?
I think if England are going to win this World Cup, and that's the biggest if in the world, then they'll have to win a penalty shootout. And they can't win penalty shootouts.
Why not? Why not?
Because I think it's like anything in life, isn't it? If you fail at something many times, I mean, I remember failing my driving test the first time, and for the stupidest reason, but I failed it. And then the next time I did it, I was very nervous, way nervous than I'd done it the first time, and I did pass, but it was just ridiculous because of that first time failure. But now England have failed at penalties so many times that I think even if you're a really good penalty taker, you're just carrying the weight of expectation and fear of what happens when you miss. And I think penalties it's a very, very psychological thing. But
if they can just have that breakthrough, though, if they can have that breakthrough and just have that one way where the keeper goes the wrong way and they get the goal that sends them through, that changes the whole complexity of it, because then they'll have the confidence. Then they'll be like, well, we can score penalties, we can go through on penalties, and I think from that way it's then a positive cycle then.
Well, they did. I mean, they lost the 1990 semi-final. Then they played in Euro 96, and they beat Spain in the quarterfinal on penalties. So we're like, oh yeah, we've got it sorted now. And then the next game went to penalties against Germany and lost again, thanks to Southgate missing. And then it's back to we're crap again. And then 98, we lost on penalties to Argentina. I think we lost a couple of times against Portugal as well. So it's our penalty record is atrocious, really.
Well, Jesse Lingard I was actually watching it before I went live. Jesse Lingard was being interviewed about penalties, and he said they haven't got a set 5 yet. But I think it's way easier said than done. But just go into it and try and ignore the past and just take your penalty, pick your spot before you walk up, and just go for it. That's the classic way of taking penalties, but it works. But it is the walk, isn't it, as well? You got everyone. You've got everyone watching. As you say, you're carrying the weight, all that pressure. But they're coming forward here, Spain. Ball into the box, headed across. But Russia defending well, aren't they? I think that we can give Spain credit or lack of credit, but I think Russia are defending well. They're doing their job. They're implementing their game plan successfully. I mean, what do you guys think of Russia's performance today? Do you think it's just been the fact that Spain haven't been very urgent and they've not had that hunger to go out and get a second goal, or have Russia defended well, or is it a mixture, which is personally what I think it is? But I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Get your comments in. I mean, the start of the second half has sort of just been a replica of the first half, to be honest. Spain on the ball, Russia defending well, Spain not having too much urgency to get a goal, but Russia are defending well. I think it's a sort of replica, as I said, of the first half. Jared says, this is so annoying. Spain's so much better. Russia brings boring games. Well, I think the fact that it's been boring hasn't... Yes, Russia have sat back and defended, but I think Spain have also had a part to play in the tempo of the game because they have had the ball. If they wanted to make it exciting, they could have had that urgency, but they don't. They haven't. Vallejo is an upcoming centre-back, apparently. Russia is just unable to do anything. They are too busy defending and forgetting to attack. Well, I think that's always going to be the case with smaller teams against bigger teams. You're always going to have to sit back and try and hit on the counter-attack and try and successfully, score from set pieces. And they're doing well for me, Russia, so far.
Just a bit of World Cup related news here. Just the French midfielder Adrien Rabiot has been linked with Manchester City, Manchester United and Barcelona. And I was like, I know he's 23. I'm sure he's had a few caps for France. Is he part of the World Cup squad? So he was put on the standby list for the World Cup. However, he emailed Deschamps and said, I won't be able to follow the training programme. Which didn't please the French Football Federation, who said he made a bad decision and he's penalised himself and sanctions himself alone. So
how could he not follow?
That had never registered with me that Rabiot had done that.
How could he not follow the training regime?
suppose if you're staying on standby, you've got to keep yourself fit, haven't you? And he probably thought, sod that, I'm not doing that.
That's a great attitude, isn't it?
I'm off on holiday to Magaluf or something, aren't I?
Magaluf for the boys.
Angelo, it may well be old news, but some people don't get the news. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't aware of it. I don't know everything. So, yes, it may be old news to you, but it's brand new news to me.
News to me as well, mate.
Corner. Yeah, he's giving it to Russia. It's been a long 11 minutes, hasn't it, this first half?
Yeah, man.
Second half, sorry. So that's been...
It's just been a replica of the first half, hasn't it?
Yeah. John Massey says, in Australia, if it's a draw in the AFL final at the game, the whole game is replayed the following weekend.
We've got another contribution here from John Massey again. Thanks, mate. I really do appreciate... Well, we really do appreciate your contributions, mate. Guys, if you do want to contribute, you don't have to, but me and Mark can't read all your comments out. So if you want your question answered and comment definitely read out, then you can, follow in John's footsteps and contribute. He says, in Australia... Oh, have you just read that out?
Yeah, I was just going to say,
right.
It's... I actually felt that, FIFA make a lot of changes that I don't agree with. I always feel like... If it's not broken, don't try and fix it.
Yes.
But I always felt that the golden goal was never really given the proper outing it should have done. And a lot of people might be too young to remember it.
Yeah,
the golden goal was used in Euro 96, and basically in extra time, if anyone scored, the game ended. And what it did do is it made teams go very defensive because they were scared of conceding a goal. But they got rid of it very quickly, and I felt that there was actually there was more value in it, and there was more to be had from it. I just think it needed a little bit of tweaking. But I liked the golden goal, and Wilf says as well. I think they got rid of it way too easily. And the thing is, it's all right. Here we go, Spain. Oh no, good block. The thing about goal extra time anyway is even if this game goes to extra time, teams get very nervous anyway in extra time. So I think golden goal was got rid of too quick.
Why do you like it, and what tweaking do you think it needed?
I liked it because I just think it was it sort of had the excitement of a penalty shootout, knowing that if you concede you're out, or if you score you're through. But they never really got that moment of somebody scoring and the game being over in a big game. And so I think they got rid of it too quickly because they felt it was making teams go too negative. But I think teams are very negative in extra time anyway. I mean, Matthew McFadden's just said, what about the silver goal? I can't remember what the silver goal was all about.
Is he taking a piss, or was that actually a thing?
No, I vaguely remember, I think there was something about a silver goal, but I just can't remember what it was.
There was a chance there for Spain, wasn't it? I know you've already seen it, but they got a corner, but I'm sure you've already seen it.
Maybe they got rid of the golden goal because the name was shit.
They need Iniesta now, Marvin. Well, Mark, if you're Hierro for Spain, the Spanish manager, what are you comfortable with how the game's going? Are you going to make any changes? Or what would you do if you're him?
Oh, I mean, what he will do is what Spain always do. It's the blueprints, isn't it? He'll bring Iniesta on in a minute, and they'll just keep grinding out until they get the goal. Silver goal was if you went 2 ahead in extra time, it was over.
Oh, I like that,
And Trezeguet scored a golden goal winner in the Euro 2000 final, says George Kyle. So it did have its moment. I don't know why they got rid of it.
To be fair, that goal celebration would be like no other, wouldn't it? That in the final, the golden goal, you've won it with that goal. Literally, you've won it. That would be... that's like a last-minute winner, isn't it?
Yeah. And to be fair, Euro 96, Gascoigne was about 2 inches away from winning it in extra time. He just mistimed his run, so...
When did he cry? When was that?
90.
Oh.
That was the World Cup, 1990. Cherishev's coming on for Russia now, so I think he's got 4 goals in this tournament.
Yeah, and some good goals as well. If you look at that first game that you did against Saudi Arabia, with the outside of his foot, the technique on that was beautiful, wasn't it? So it's an attacking substitution. Hopefully, he does bring something to the game and adds to it, and can put Russia ahead. Imagine that. Can you imagine? Look, it's not out the realms of possibility, mate. Can you imagine Russia get a goal, defend well, and sort of knock Spain out. Can you imagine?
Palish says, "Where's Carvajal?" I don't know whether he's injured or something. They've sort of played both of them, haven't they? Nacho played the first game, I think, because Carvajal was injured. I know he did get injured.
No, he's on the bench.
Again,
he's on the bench.
When he played, so I don't know whether he's injured again. I don't know.
He's on the bench, mate. Yeah, I saw someone say that number 19 looks as old as my dad. He does look like he's getting on. Did you see that? Was it this the Egyptian keeper, 45 years of age, 130 days or something like that? Oldest player ever to play in a World Cup. Come on, Russia. Sorry, De Gea. Yeah, I know I'm a Manchester United fan, and Mark is as well, and I've got my affiliations to them, Spain, because I'm living here, and obviously David De Gea as well, but I just love to see Russia go through and cause an upset. They are the underdog, and it would get rid of another giant, wouldn't it? Never once seen the game.
Fadian says silver goal was actually if you were ahead at half time of extra time, you went through.
No. So. Right. So
and that's true. That's true from Britain. If Spain go out, there will be at least one so-called smaller team in the final. There'll be one team in the final who's never won it before if Spain go out, because Spain are the only team in this side of the draw, well, apart from England, obviously, but I don't count that because I never saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Belgium have never won it, Japan have never won it, Switzerland have never won it, Sweden have never won it, Denmark's never won it, Russia's never won it, Croatia's never won it. So if Spain go out, we will get somebody in the final who's never won it before, unless it's England, in which case that sort of counts as never winning it before.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? That'd be absolutely fantastic. Now hearing that news, I really want that to happen. Now, I'm going to throw this question to you, Mark, and to the comments as well. You've seen 60, 63, 62 minutes of this match. Now you were proper into the second half. Got about half an hour left. Is your prediction? Do you still stand with it, or have you changed it? Do you think Russia could nick a goal, or do you still think Spain will come out on top?
I think it's set up for Spain to just get that second goal, and I think everybody who said 2-1 is probably going to be right. I'd love to see something a little bit different, but you just feel that unfortunately one of these games is going to be this sort of game is going to be 2-1 to Spain. DJ Burns just said it as I said it. Could go extra time, as Palish says, but
I think if it goes to extra time, Spain, they're obviously going to get tired, as will Russia, but Spain have got the better quality substitutes to bring on and reinforce, have fresh legs, but quality fresh legs. Whereas Russia, if they make a substitution, it will be naturally a weaker player, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think in that case, if it went to extra time, I think Spain would win it in extra time. But I'm just praying that we can. I just want it to either go to penalties or Russia. Just Russia nick a goal in the last minute of this game, and you'd see some absolute scenes. It would just be amazing, wouldn't it?
Another substitution for Russia here. So they're using them up, taking off their striker who scored the penalty, and bringing on Smolov.
Does anyone in the comments know anything about Smolov? Do you know anything about him, Mark?
No.
Nope, me neither, mate. Spain has a huge advantage in extra time and penalties, yes. Whereas Cheryshev, he's on the pitch now, isn't he? He got brought on. He didn't start the game, but he's on the pitch now as a substitute. So, we've still got half an hour left. Hopefully he can make a dent, make an influence. Saul signed a 9-year contract last summer until 2076. I remember that. Yeah, that was a madness, wasn't it? Smolov has 88 pace and
Here comes Iniesta. I predicted that one.
Yeah, as people in the comments predicted it as well. Iniesta. I think it's probably the right time to bring him on because he can't play a full 90 anymore. Bring him on, half an hour left. He's still, you never lose that quality. You just lose it over 90 minutes. So it's the right time to bring him on, I think. Who would you like to bring? Would you bring Iniesta on if you were Hierro, or would you bring anyone else on? I think looking at the bench, you'd probably you would go for him, wouldn't you? Iago Aspas, maybe.
They don't have great options off the bench in the attacking sense. No. Soldado, not Soldado.
Solmiguez.
Rodrigo and Aspas. I don't really rate them. Aspilicueta, Vasquez, Thiago's good. They don't. You know what? They don't actually have brilliant options off the bench in an attacking sense.
Defensively, they're good.
Yeah, midfield they've got loads, but attacking wise,
no. Saul or Thiago for me, that's from Kunal. Smolov is a good player, apparently, John. Well, let's keep an eye out for him. Do you know what number he is? I'll have a little look what number he is. Smolov. 10. Number 10. All right, let's keep an eye out for number 10, because John claims he's a decent player.
Well, they did. Yeah, Smolov is good, and Cherishev's good as well, but both started on the bench today. Obviously, they're playing a way that's hard working. So David Silva's come off, Iniesta comes on.
It's a like-for-like change, isn't it?
Both bold.
Just both very similar players. Iniesta, I think, superior quality-wise, but obviously can't do it over 90 minutes, as I said. Yeah, that wasn't a penalty, was it? No, it was a... Yeah, no. Well, Golovin has been quite quiet today. What do you make of his performance so far?
Yeah, he has been quiet. I mean, you'd expect that, though. They've not had a lot of the ball. It's very much counter-attacking football, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, as I said, you'd expect him to be quiet because just, attacking-wise, Russia haven't offered much because they've been so focused on defending. So, too many Russian strikers are underrated compared to Diego Costa and co. Maybe. Well, I don't know. I think Diego Costa's a bloody brilliant striker. And I haven't seen too much of the Russian strikers, to be honest. So, there you go.
I'm slightly surprised by him, actually. I thought he would be pushing for the golden boot, and he still can do. But he doesn't get many opportunities in a Spanish shirt because they don't play the sort of ball I think he wants.
No, they haven't created much.
Go side to side too much.
Yeah, they're looking just. The thing is, right, like I was saying, with tiki-taka football, people get the wrong idea that it's just keep the ball. It's not. It is keep the ball, but it's break them down with fast triangles and interchangeable play. That's tiki-taka. Then what they're doing now in Spain is just boring, and I don't think necessarily that's tiki-taka in the idealistic sense. So, as you say, they're not creating many chances. Nothing to what Diego Costa would like. So, I think Diego Costa's an absolutely fantastic player, and if you give him enough service, he could really, really, really do damage.
Just anyone's interested in the Formula One? Verstappen wins it, Raikkonen second, Vettel third, and no finishes for Bottas or Hamilton, both retired, and Ricciardo. So, yeah.
Can't comment on that. Know nothing about it.
Jared, I would normally would have watched it, but football does take preference.
Of course it does. Well, yeah, there you go. Jared says Spain Croatia would be an amazing game. Russia blows, no talent. It's not like I want Sweden to advance, as they are also like watching paint dry. For me, Jared, you make a good point. Now Russia and Sweden, they aren't the most attractive teams to play, and you will see going forward, if those teams go through, a defensive style of play. But for the good of the tournament, I think it would be far more interesting, and it would be obviously a massive shock if Spain were to go out and Russia to go through. So I understand what you're saying, Jared, but I still would like to see Russia and Sweden to go through. I don't know where you stand on that, Mark.
Oh, yeah, I'd like Russia to go through because they're the hosts, and I think as long as you keep the hosts in the tournament, the tournament sort of benefits from that. But I do agree. I mean, Russia are hard work, but I think Russia have been hard to watch in this game because most teams against Spain are hard to watch because Spain just are so possessive of the ball, but they don't do much with the ball. I put the blame on Spain, to be honest, because Spain on the ball, they hog it and they don't then do much with it. They don't watch France yesterday. They hardly had any of the ball compared to Argentina, which was a surprising stat.
Spain...
But the reason was France, when they get the ball, they want to do something quickly with it. So Spain make games boring when Spain are playing because they're just so dominant to the ball, but then they're bored, they don't do anything with it.
Well, Jared, yeah, exactly. Jared, you say that you want to see Spain go through because Russia don't offer an attractive style of play, but Spain have had control of this game in terms of possession, so they've had control over the tempo of the game, and it's down to them that it hasn't been an attacking, fast, dynamic game. It's down to them that it's been slow, very, very laboured, possession-based game. So, I agree with you to an extent, but, as Mark says, Spain, they have also made the game boring, Well, not boring, but slow, if that makes sense.
Arsenic Gunner in case says, who wants to see penalties would be the only interesting thing in this match. To be honest, I don't really want to watch another half an hour of extra time, to be honest. If it went straight to penalties, I'd like it. But you can guarantee if we get extra time, Spain will find a goal in like the last minute of extra time. Then we won't get the penalties anyway. But it's looking that way at the moment because I just don't get Spain. I don't know why they're not forcing the issue a bit. Dominant to the ball again, but not really not creating anything.
Well, I'd agree with you. And I think if it did went to extra time, as I said, they would probably nick it. But we said that about this game, didn't we? We said it about the second half. You know, they'd nick it in the 60th and then they'd nick it in the 80th. We said that, but it's not happened. So clearly our predictions, or my predictions, aren't going to plan. So anything can happen. Guys, if you are new, we're trying to hit 41,000 subscribers today. We're currently on 40,934, so get involved. We've got 831 of you watching, which is decent, isn't it? So, you know, if you guys can get subscribing, just, how many is that? What? Is it 60, 66? Get involved, get subscribing.
Tom Austin says, England to be knocked out by Russia, that would have to happen in the semi-final. It's the first time we can meet them, and the only time.
I think England would batter Russia. STR8 says, this is so boring. Now, the game has been slow and a bit laboured, but boring's not the right word. I think slow and laboured are the better words to describe the game. It's not boring because, I mean, we've got, 20 minutes left and we could see Russia beat Spain and go through to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. That's not boring, but I do agree with you and I understand what you're trying to say in the fact that it's been rather laboured, if that makes sense.
Be interesting to see what happens if it's 1-1 on the 80th minute because the corner to Spain here, because who will sit back and who will try and win it? Or will both sort of play cagey? I don't know.
Well, I think Spain will properly go for it. I think if it went 80, 85, Spain would ramp. I don't think they're in gear 5, mate. Let alone in gear 4. I don't think this is not Spain at their best, is it? John Massey shared the video on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks, mate. I really do appreciate it. And if you guys could share the video as well, that does help to get more people involved. So get sharing the video and spread the word, definitely.
Spain corner cleared there.
Oh, Spain, don't forget. Who's the master at last minute headed goals? Winners. I mean, it's Sergio Ramos, isn't it? We all know what a threat he is from set pieces, and he likes a last-minute winner from the corner. So, you know, that is from corners. That's something definitely to watch out for Spain. Well, as Mohamed G says there, Ramos headed winner, 88th minute. You know, it's definitely within the realms of possibility, isn't it? Definitely.
Matthew McFadden made a point there that I don't know what he's on about, so he might have a little bit of new news here. He says that if this goes to extra time, Russia could be the first team ever to use 4 substitutions. So is there some new rule that you can make more subs in extra time then, I presume?
Do you want to look that up?
Either that or Matthew will just put it in the live comments in a minute.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll trust Matthew's research. What's happening? Tony? Spain are controlling the ball. Russia are sitting back. Spain are just, throughout the whole game, are just finding it very, very difficult to break that Russian defence down. And they're not creating much, to be honest. So 74, 75 minutes into the game now. And Spain just trying to get that winner, but finding it difficult at the moment, pal.
It is a new rule. Lots of people saying that you can use 1 more sub in extra time. So if you use 3 in normal time, it would be 4 all in all.
I rate that, to be honest. I like that rule, to be honest. Yeah, it sounds like a good rule.
Pretty much camped on the Russian penalty box at the moment, trying to 1-2 their way through. Again, something you'll never see with Spain is a hopeful cross into the box or a 30-yard shot.
Have we seen that once this game? Have we seen a cross or a long shot once? I don't think we have. Not once.
They don't do it. Barcelona don't do it either. It's just not what they do. It's not their philosophy, and it's, you know.
PK and Sergio Ramos both in the Russian half.
Andy Ferguson says, is this knockout or World Cup friendly? This is the typical game you do traditionally get in the knockout stage. We were spoiled yesterday because we didn't get it, but this is your typical World Cup knockout game, which we've seen over the years, where it just goes very cagey and very tight. But I don't think Spain help it. I mean, Spain just won't change the way they play, and it's like I say, some people love it, some people find it infuriatingly boring.
No, yeah, as you say, it is cagey and it's a bit of a chess match, isn't it, at the moment? But Spain aren't helping it. They've got the ball, so they've got control over the tempo of the play. And if they wanted to have some urgency about it, as we saw in the last 5 minutes of the first half when it went to 1-1, then they've got the ability to speed it up. But for some reason, they're just not doing it.
Russia are crap as well on the break.
Yes,
they had a good chance to break there, and they can't even keep the bloody ball in.
Jack Brown says Costa must be so pissed knowing he will never get a good cross from open play. He must be fuming because surely that's one of his best attributes. Holding the ball up, getting balls into the box, getting on the end of crosses. He must be absolutely fuming. Spain's style is dead like Germany as well. They both need to adapt and move forward. Time to progress as a FA, not reload. The end of that doesn't make sense, but the beginning bit does, yeah. I think the thing is with Germany, they lacked pace, didn't they? So, and a clinical striker. But, yeah, Spain are slow, aren't they? Very like Manchester United, this play, to be honest. Very like United. And you can swap Diego Costa with Lukaku in terms of, in regards to the fact that he's not getting the type of service he should be getting. There you go. As Manchester United says, same as Lukaku at United, no crosses. Spot on. Spot on. Mark, we got a contribution, but I'm going to quickly... I had a bottle of water before I came on, so I'm going to go for a whiz again.
It's Mark, John Massey. Mark, I just sent you something to your Twitter. Okay, I'll have a look in a minute, John. Someone crossed the ball to Captain Haddock, says Gungshi. Spain United FC, says Uzar. Well, they moved... Well, yeah, I see what you mean. Maybe they moved the ball a bit around technically better than United, but the end result's the same, isn't it? It's very side to side. There's no risk taking, is there? Russia needs a captain. Extra time incoming, says Bork. It's looking that way at the moment. What we got, about 12 minutes left. I still think there's a chance.
Back now, mate.
Man United, my city says there's a last goal coming at last minute goal. The only team that's going to score at the moment is going to be Spain. I mean, Russia have not offered much in the last 20 minutes. No,
not at all. But look, going forward on the counter-attack, they haven't offered much, as you say, but they have defended well, and you've got to give them credit because they've stopped Spain from creating any chances. And if you look at how many creative players Spain do have, that's a decent job defensively by Russia. Kieran Byrne, I know, mate. Yeah. Lukaku has proved what he can do when he gets good service. As a United fan, he needs more service, indeed. And I think that reflects on Diego Costa as well today. When he gets good service, he's lethal. But he's not got any... Is he off?
Yeah, I took him off, which is weird because it's just a total and utter ignorance to using that... They've put Aspas on, who's small. So
mate, that is awful.
Interested in it.
Also, that is actually, well, I guarantee he's going to go and score now, but that's the dumbest substitution ever. What is Aspas good at? Running in behind into space. What's Diego Costa good at? Getting balls into the box. What are Russia not giving Spain? Space in behind for Aspas to run into. So surely you should keep Diego Costa on because you need to put balls in the box because Russia are just camping back. It makes no sense whatsoever, does it?
No, Lindhall's just said the same. Costa off, weird. But it isn't weird. I mean, if this was a team maybe you were managing, you'd think, yeah, it's a good decision to keep Costa on because he gives us that ball into the box option. Which, funnily enough, I've just seen them put a cross into the box for the first time, I think, this game. But they just don't do it, Spain. They don't do it enough, so...
Yeah, George Carr says Aspas will defo score now. Yeah, now I've just slagged the substitution off. I guarantee he'll go out and score now. Aspas isn't a bad player. He's actually a very, very good player and has had a fairly good season last season. And many Spanish people were arguing, he should start. But just in the context of the game, it doesn't make sense. Tactically, if you're looking at it, it doesn't make sense. But, if it works, it works. And fair play to him.
Anyone interested in tennis? Andy Murray's just pulled out of Wimbledon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was
Why?
injured. He was slightly injured anyway, but I think
Oh,
he just
right.
feels that he can't do it. Uh, yeah, Ash, I agree. Spain are boring. I said this before the tournament. I've said it for a long time. I don't like Spain, and I've got a lot of criticism for it. But I think hopefully everyone who was criticising me is watching this today and saying, yeah, I see what he means.
I see what you mean.
Corner for Spain now. Yeah, I prefer Federer to Murray as well, Joy Deep. I don't know whether he prefers Murray. He just said I hate Murray. I know, he is British and all that, but he's Scottish, isn't he? I think in the past he said I don't want England to do well, which I know a lot of Scottish people don't, which I respect, but I don't want them to do well either. So.
Matthew McFadden is the main man for that, isn't he? He hates
I haven't got a problem with that, but it doesn't mean I have to support Andy Murray. I prefer Federer. So.
Yeah, same, yeah.
Well, Matthew doesn't even like him, and they're from the same country. I think I don't know whether we're going to get a VAR here, but
what's going on, mate? Update us.
Something in the box.
Spain or for? DJ Burns says VAR.
Play on.
Play on. Brilliant. Come on.
They said play on. Something happened in the box, and the referee did hold it up for a minute, and he obviously listened to it, and he said no, play on.
I want to see it go to extra time penalties, to be honest with you. I know it's not been a fantastic game, but it would just be fantastic drama, wouldn't it? And then Russia win it on penalties, and that's the dream. Was it a potential penalty or something?
Well, we haven't seen it come back yet. So VAR obviously reviewed it. No, I've just seen it now. Hits his shoulder, but his hand's in a natural position, and his hand's actually down, so not a penalty.
DJ Burns says that was clear handball, but I'll take your word for it. But there you go. Great defensive work. Yes, I think so. Well, what is your verdict on Russia so far this game, mate? Do you think that they have been fantastic? Not fantastic. They've been good defensively, or is it just that Spain have not been very good going forward?
Oh, it's absolutely part of the bus from Russia. I think we saw more in the first half from them. It's been part of the bus. They've not tried to win this game at all in the second half, and they've done very little on the break as well. So Spain have obviously gone up a level from the first half, but it's part of the bus. It's part of the bus.
Yeah, I've seen it now. It's not. That's not handball. No way in a million years that handball. So
I'd like to. I think Russia have gone too deep and too much respect for Spain, because it's not like Spain are creating chance after chance after chance. It's I think they could commit a few more players forward, Russia, but
Kunal says Spain start crossing the ball now that Costa is off. Odd. It's true, isn't it? It's true. As soon as the big man goes off, you know what? Let's now start putting balls into the box. It doesn't make sense. No. Jared says this game is the worst of the tournament. Well, don't know. You didn't watch Uruguay, Saudi Arabia. Jared, stop. No way.
I'm trying to think what my worst game was, actually.
Honestly,
you've had some of the best ones, because you had the
Portugal, Spain,
Mexico, Germany, Portugal, Spain.
But I've also had Uruguay, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, Iniesta! It's the post, back across the face of the goal from Aspas. Not such a good shot by Aspas, but it was either a good save or he hit the post, Iniesta, from the edge of the box.
Good. Well, obviously Spain are coming. To be fair, in the last 5 minutes, Spain have ramped up the pressure, haven't they? The pace has gone up, which is so weird. Because why have they not been doing that the whole game? It's so they've got it in them, but why have they not been doing it consistently? I don't get it. But everyone's saying so close in the comments.
And I think he saved the second one as well.
You had Uruguay, Egypt was a stinker, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, good save by the keeper the first one, and I reckon he might make a save on the second one.
The first one was a good save, but you'd expect him to make that, and he did save.
Belgium was shit, yeah. Arsenal.
Oh yeah.
Case that was bad.
Yeah, but no, on this game, that second shot there, he did make a save, but it wasn't a great shot. I'd expect him to make both of those saves, to be honest. But why do you think Spain have not had this level of urgency throughout the whole game? I don't get it.
I don't think they've had that level of urgency throughout the whole tournament, to be honest.
Yeah, it's so strange, mate. It's so strange. Similar thing with
France versus Denmark, says Jay Hart, was a bad game. I didn't do that.
France Denmark. That was a that's where that was a bad. For most of the France games have been bad, to be honest, apart from yesterday.
Subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get to 41,000. I don't know what we're on.
We're on 950.
We'll watch along for every single game.
Indeed. Get involved. Guys, get involved. Get subscribing. We're trying, as Mark said, we're trying to hit 41,000 today. We're live with every single World Cup game. So, it's a fantastic community we're building up here. And it's just so good to be able to watch games with people that love football like you do. You might not have a family that's into football. And now you do on That's Football. So get involved and get subscribed.
Made a right mistake here. I think Ramos takes out Alba. VAR. Gollivan's in the box. There was an offside anyway that the linesman should have seen, but Gollivan was into the box here, and it looks to me like, well, maybe Gollivan does trip him. I don't know.
Could that go to VAR maybe, or?
Nah. He's played it on. It was offside anyway.
Russia missed a great opportunity there. That's from Lynn Hall. Mark Goldbridge channel needs more content, apparently.
Mark Goldbridge needs more time to do more content.
Yeah, mate, honestly, you don't understand. Doing these, I mean, obviously this is my sort of first time properly doing streams, like, consecutively. And it's so busy, isn't it, the World Cup? So, you're doing, like, 2 or 3 streams a day. It's mad. Yeah, that was...
And the United stand.
Yeah, Jesus. And then also a personal life as well. It's not doable to... I don't know how you do it, mate.
So we're nearly into the old stoppage time here.
Well, I still think Spain are going to...
It's either going to be a Spain goal or a... Oh, it's a free kick here for Spain. They'll be able to put a whip
Were you going to come out?
Box.
Were you going to come out with a Michael Owen goal? It's either going to be a Spain goal, extra time, or a Russian goal. That's the...
I actually wasn't going to put Russia in there, so I wasn't quite going to go Michael Owen. But it's either going to be extra time or a Spain winner. We've seen nothing from Russia in this last few minutes, and this reminds me of England in the Euros in 2012. Roy Hodgson was in charge. We were playing Italy in a knockout game, and we pretty much played for penalties from half time, which baffled me because we're crap at penalties. And we went out on penalties, but we did nothing as an attacking team at all. Well,
maybe Russia are clearly the weaker side, and maybe that's the sort of defensive performance they've got to put in and get it to penalties and win it there. I mean, I think that's the only thing they can really do, because as you say, they don't have great quality going forward on the counter-attack. They've not been great at all. So fair play to them. I mean, this is clearly their game plan, and I mean, I know we've still got 2 odd minutes plus stoppage time left, but it's working well. It's working well for them.
I've got another corner here to Spain as we enter the 89th minute.
Aaron Chen says, "Here comes the Ramos header." It would not surprise
me. The only time they want to put a cross into the box, Spain, is when they've got a corner, because they've got Ramos and Piqué up. They don't bother any other time.
It's true. To be fair, I think they have, in the last sort of 7 minutes, they have ramped it up. They have started to put more balls into the box. Like with that penalty incident, that wasn't obviously a penalty, but that was a ball into the box, wasn't it?
Another corner coming here. They've had 3 in a row, Spain. Oh, you get a 4th sub, Palash, in extra time. So you can use your 3 in normal time, and then you're now allowed an extra sub in extra time.
Which I like. I think it works well, because surely for a 90-minute game, you have 3 substitutions. If you're playing 120 odd minutes, surely you should have an extra one. That makes sense. Isco is so good. He's not done that well today. I don't think any of the Spanish players have done that well today, to be honest with you. But Asensio, we've not talked about that. Before the game, Mark, we were saying how much we loved him, but what's he done today? He's gone missing. I mean, can you...
Yeah, he's been very quiet. Yeah, you're right.
Can you put... I can't have a man of the match this game. I can't. I know it's not finished, but unless someone gets a winner now, I cannot have a man of the match. They've all been absent.
I'd say the Russian keeper, probably for that save against Iniesta there. I think that's probably the standout moment. I don't think... both goals weren't anything special. Nobody's really ran the midfield. The defence from Russia, I'm sure somebody would say, well, you should give it to a Russian because they've been defensively well organised, but I don't think they've actually been that many last-ditch tackles or anything like that. It's been a very moribund game, and I would say probably I'd have to give it to the keeper for the save from Iniesta.
But that, I mean, it wasn't a fantastic save. Like, it was a good save, but it wasn't like one you wouldn't expect him to make. Like, it was a good save, but it was just pretty, standard. But that shows the lack of creativity and chances and excitement in this game, that we're giving it to a keeper who made a save. Like, it wasn't even spectacular. Man of the match, this is from Andy Ramos. He said, man of the match are the fans who stayed awake. Yeah,
I agree with Darth Maul that Russia have shown Spain way too much respect in this game.
I actually, maybe a little bit, but I actually think what they've done is fair play to them. Because at the end of the day, right, if they weren't a little bit more expansive, Mark, right, if they went a little bit more expansive, you'd see a few more gaps, and Iniesta, Isco, players like that would pick up the pockets and they would leave them exposed. Russia, what they're doing now, yes, it's a risky play, but I don't think you can go about it any other way, because they don't have the quality to do that. So, yes, they're sitting back, yes, they're putting 10 men behind the ball, but if they weren't to do that and were to go a bit more expansive, I think you'd see them get exploited.
Well, we're definitely looking at extra time now. Only 2 minutes left. Spain in possession.
I'm excited, mate, because
a little bit of a mistake here by Spain. There's a long way for him to go to do anything with it, though.
I'm excited for this extra time if we get
goal kick.
Because look, it hasn't been a great, 90 minutes of football, but it's exciting in terms of Spain might go out, which I still think, by the way, lad, don't get too carried away. I do still think in extra time Spain have got enough quality to nick it. And one lapse of concentration from this Russian defence and midfield, and you're seeing Spain break them down. They've got that quality, but we can all dream. We can all dream.
I'll tell you one thing I've recognised a few of the stadiums, but it's not something I'd normally, I don't know, I think because I don't know anything really about Russian football, so I don't recognise a lot of the stadiums anyway. A lot of the games, wherever they've been played, I've not really thought, oh, that's the main stadium or anything like that. I don't know, this looks quite a big one. I think this is the one where the final was going to be played, actually.
I think it's Luzhniki. This is the Luzhniki Stadium. I think that's in Moscow, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's just because I'm not too familiar with... They all sound a little bit similar, the Russian, to me, because I'm not Russian, obviously, I just know the Luzhniki. Needs to get it on target at least. Yeah, I've just seen a goal kick being taken now, but yeah, that shot he should have done better with that. I think, as Aaron Chen says, Smolov blew it. It wasn't a clear cut, but it was a chance, wasn't it? That for Russia. But it looks like. What minute are you in, mate?
Yeah, I've got about 20 seconds left of the four. Spain on the attack, but they've been on the attack for 45 minutes and not created anything.
90 minutes, mate. 90 minutes. It's been the same pattern of play for the full 94 minutes, whatever. So there you go. It's looking like we're going to go into extra time, which, like I said, although
we are.
There we go. We're in extra time.
I'm just going to go to the toilet.
No worries, mate. Look, I'm going to stop the timer because we are in extra time. And look, it hasn't been a fantastic two halves of footy. It's not been a great game. But regardless, it's exciting. We could see Russia go through. And if Russia actually go through, right, then there will be a team in the final that's never won it before, which is always exciting, isn't it? We've got a contribution here by Bio 2.0 saying, every Manchester United fan should be familiar with the Luzhniki Stadium. I don't know why. You can inform me why, but I don't know why. But we are in extra time, lads. Thanks for your contribution. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm going to throw it to you guys. Now in extra time, what is your predictions? What do you see is going to happen? It's not going to be a big break for extra time, by the way, lads. It's only going to be about 5-10 minutes because they don't go back into the changing rooms. They stay on the pitch. So it's going to be exciting next half an hour. And could it go to penalties? Get in the comments. I want to know what you guys think. Vijay says Vijay Cockatee says Uruguay battered this Russian team 3-0. Just shows how average Spain are. Vijay, because Russia got sending off, mate. That don't forget that played a key part in that game. 2008 fight. Okay, I knew it was in Moscow, but don't know if it was in the Luzhniki. There you go. I need another wee as well, big boss. I need another one. Someone your head says Spain to nick it. Yeah, Wiro, if I'm honest, I think everyone's head says Spain to nick it. Clearly, they've got the better team, and they've got a more quality, and they have dominated this game, but they just haven't created much. Now, whether that will change in this extra time period, I think so. I think naturally they're going to step on it. They're going to go into fifth gear, and they're going to, increase the urgency of their play. But regardless, they haven't created much, and it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with that. I mean, we're seeing the Russian players on the pitch now pulling up with cramp. This is the thing, they've played such a hard game, they've focused so hard. When you're off the ball, you're constantly chasing it. That's so tiring. The Spain players will naturally have a lot more energy left because they're just knocking it about. So it's just whether Russia can maintain their focus. They're all down with cramp, all of them. All of them down with cramp here. Russia to score in the 120th minute. If Russia scored in the 120th minute, scenes, mate. I'd go absolutely nuts. If Russia go through, then it's a disaster for football. They look terrible. I understand what you're saying, and Russia haven't been a joy to watch. They've been quite defensive. Naturally, you would be if you're coming up against a team like Spain. But then again, look, me and Mark discussed this before. Spain haven't been, the picture of excitement in football terms, have they? They've had the ball, they've had control of the game, and they've decided the pace of it. And it's been slow. They've been knocking it around at a slow tempo. So you can criticise Russia for their defensive and slow style of play, but at the end of the day, Spain have been slow as well. So I'd like to see Russia go through. There'd be absolute scenery, yeah. Sander, are you expecting a penalty shootout? I hope there'd be a penalty shootout, or I hope Russia can nick it, but I don't know, I have to wait and see, bud. Spain has too much experience in these situations like this. Bye-bye, Russia. That's, like I said, my head goes with Spain. My head goes with Spain, and you've got to go Spain, purely because of the quality they've got. They've got the experience. They've got everything they need. But can Russia hold out? I mean, guys, what do you think? Sweden will win nothing. Cheers for that, United class. Appreciate the comment. The word boring is used too much. Right, Spain are more technical, but how bloody boring are they? Come on, Russia. Yeah, and as always, if you guys have been watching these streams regularly, you'll know that I want underdogs to do well, and Russia is an underdog. And also, if Spain go out and Russia go through, a team will make it to the final that hasn't been there before, or hasn't won it before. Unless it's England, but that was 66, so it doesn't really count. Well, it does, but you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean? So, yeah. Spain will nick it in extra time, I think so. Well, we are going to be back up and running very, very soon, lads. As I said, this extra time break shouldn't take too long because they don't go back in for extra time. They're all huddling around now, the Spanish players. Sander, Spain wins with lucky deflection, but I hope Russia will win it in penalty shootout. Let's make it exciting. Same, mate. I hope so. I don't think we're going to... If Spain score, you're not going to see an exciting game. You're just going to see them nick it. So for that reason, I'd like to see it go to penalties, just for excitement.
I'm back.
Can hear the clicking. Nah, Mark's back now, lads. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Have you kicked off?
Yeah, we have just kicked off, yeah.
Cool.
So I've got no idea which way this is going to go now. I still think, unless Russia really change what they're doing, we're probably going to look at Spain or penalties.
Luzhniki United won the 2008 Champions League final in the Luzhniki Stadium, by the way. In Moscow.
There you go. Is this where the final is going to be held then? I presume it is.
I don't know, mate. I think a semi-final is going to be held there, but I've kicked off just now. I don't know whether the final is going to be there. I presume so, in the capital city, right? Ed Woodward, I think we have actually had one. Ed Woodward asked, have we ever had a watch-along on That's Football on the United stand that's gone to penalties? I think Middlesbrough United under Louis van Gaal and around October time in the Carabao Cup, that went to penalties and United lost. I think you were doing watch-alongs then.
What was that one?
So that was Van Gaal's second season, I think. 2000 and against Middlesbrough in October in the League Cup went to penalties and we lost. That was when we had all those 0-0s in a row.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. The Lushniki will host the final 2 weeks today. In fact, it will be at half time in 2 weeks because it kicks off at 4:00. It will also host the semi-final for this side of the draw. So Spain, if they get to the semi-finals, will play here and in the final. It will also it won't feature again till then. Actually, it's going to be a semi-final place and the final. After today, you've got Otkriti Arena for Colombia and England, Krestovsky Arena for Sweden and Switzerland, and Nizhny Novgorod Stadium tonight for Croatia, which will also host Uruguay and France, Kazan Arena for the Friday evening, and Fisht Olympic Stadium in Sochi for the quarterfinal on Saturday, and Samara Arena, and then the semi-finals, Krestovsky Stadium and Lushniki.
Good.
So there you are. We are at the place of the final at the moment.
I think that
would better than this.
That would probably benefit. Look, say Spain play obviously in this game, then in the semi-finals, and if they get to the final in this stadium, surely that benefits. You benefit. You get used to the changing rooms. It feels more like home. You get used to the pitch. I think that benefits them.
Yeah, in the other side of the draw, nobody plays here.
Well, Spain have had a few chances in the first 2 or 3 minutes of this second half, so they have ramped up the pressure, but Russia's still holding out. When you were gone, mate, all the Russian players were just down with cramp, all of them. So, they're all, like I said, when you were gone, I was saying, Russia have been chasing the ball for 90 minutes. You're going to be so much more tired than the Spanish players who've just been knocking it about. So, if they can hold their nerve and stay focused, hopefully we'll see it go to pens, but it's going to be difficult for them.
Be interesting if it does go to penalties, because De Gea, who's not that popular with the Russians anyway, he won't popular with the Russians, but with the Spanish, he could be hero or villain.
Yeah, well, he saved how many? He doesn't save penalties too often, does he? He saves them now and again. I remember in the semi-finals of the FA Cup against Everton, against Lukaku, in fact, he saved that pen, but I can't remember too many others.
There's some ridiculous stat with De Gea as well that he's made the least saves in the World Cup, and you can see why. I mean, everything is just ahead of him, isn't it? It's just, it's mind-numbingly boring.
It's so difficult, but that also, when he does get a bit of action down his end, football-wise, then it's obviously going to be more difficult for him because it's so difficult to stay focused for the full 90 minutes if you're not doing anything, You can be caught off guard. But do I have to update you guys what's going on? They're just knocking it about, Spain, trying to break Russia down. It's the same thing we've seen for the full 90 minutes. And also, guys, we're quite close to 41,000 subscribers. So if we can hit that this stream, that'd be absolutely fantastic. We're on 971. So get involved, get subscribing. We're live here with every single World Cup watch along. So get involved. Can see the script now. Russia will win dramatic shootout and knock out Spain. I bloody hope so, mate. I absolutely hope so. I'll be honest.
It'll be a waste of everybody's time if it goes to penalties and then Spain win, won't it?
Yeah.
They may as well have won it 4-0 and saved us half an hour.
To be fair, even if it did go to penalties, you'd expect them to win, wouldn't you, Spain? With the quality they've got experience, they've got the nerve. Russia will obviously be far more nervous than the Spanish players, so I'd expect it to go the Spanish way if it went to penalties, but nothing's come out.
Then again, Spain will have the crowd, won't they, against them? So,
and
I don't
also
know whether that factors or not.
More pressure, really, if that makes sense. Oh, they're so bad on the counter.
There's going to be a chance for Russia to create anything on the break.
They're so
difficult to say.
They're so poor because I've just seen it, and they lump it up to him, and he tries to hold it up, but it just comes off him, and Spain win it back. You got to do better.
United till I die says I'd rather Spain win.
A few people are of that mindset, to be honest.
We've got a long shot here. First time in the game.
First one.
From Pepsi.
Spain going all out attack. I mean, PK and Sergio Ramos are a good amount into Russia's half. Like a solid couple yards. Spain are users to pressure, though. Have players who have won multiple champions. That's what I was saying, yeah. They are used to the pressure, and they'll have more, be able to hold their nerve better, but let's hope that they miss a few and Russia, get a few.
Here's the iconic fourth substitution for the first time in football. Extra time, you can use an extra substitution. So Russia had used all three in normal time. They've just used their fourth one now.
How do you like that rule? Or are you a bit sort of just?
No, I think it's a good idea. If you play an extra time, it's 30 minutes more than you're normally going to play. So it helps a little bit with the fatigue, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, as I was saying, all the Russian players were down, getting stretched with cramp at sort of full time at the full 90 minutes. So they're all knackered. They're all absolutely knackered. It is, Fionn.
Sebastian says I'm going to go nuts if Russia win. Still, I think it's a big ask.
Oh,
I still
massively.
feel that Spain will get a chance.
I mean, we've still got 25 minutes of this extra time plus stoppage time, and then you got, even if it does go past that, you got penalties, which Spain clearly, as I've said, are favourites for. So it's a massive arse still, as you say, massive. Yeah, I got Aspas save Spain and Morocco. I have itchy gut feeling he does so again. That's from Weira. Yeah, I mean, look, any player could be the breakthrough. It could be Sergio Ramos, it could be Gerard Piqué, it could be Iago Aspas. I think they've got quality all around the pitch, but they just haven't created anything today. So slow and laboured, aren't they? If Spain lose, will England be favourites to reach the final? No.
Well, I think we'll know that on Tuesday night, won't we? Because England need to beat Colombia, and we'll need to see whether Croatia are going to keep up their great form as well.
I think so. I think they will do, if I'm honest. But we'll have to wait and see tonight, won't we? Whatever happens, Russia can hold their head high. They've done great. Look, John, I agree with you. Whatever happens now, to get this Spanish team to extra time, whatever happens, you've got to hold your head up high because you've done a good job, and fair play to them. They've given it their all. De Gea will be the hero. That Akinfeev for Russia is not that good, is he? So I don't know what he's like on penalties, but
well, the lad who scored the penalty for Russia's gone off, hasn't he? So
yeah. Croatia versus Denmark will be a good game. Looks boring on paper, but no, it doesn't look boring. He reckons it'll end up 4-2. I think it's an absolute cracker on paper. Obviously, you can't really call the sort of style of the play, but it's an interesting game, isn't it? Will Croatia continue their form? Will Denmark turn up? They've got a few danger men, Christian Eriksen, most notably so. So, yeah, it's a very, very interesting game. And
they're hard to score against Denmark as well.
Yes. Kasper Schmeichel in goal is not a bad keeper either. So.
No, he's done well.
Clashed into each other there, the two Spanish players. But the whole game has been the same, hasn't it? It's just been the exact same thing for the full 99 minutes we've been playing at this point.
I think when Spain were 1-0 up, Russia were quite expansive, and but since it's been 1-1, they've just they've just gone back, and I mean that's. I don't think they've purposely tried to attack, but they've just not had much success with it.
I don't understand. I think half-time came out at the wrong time for Spain, because when Russia got their goal, they immediately, Spain, had an element of urgency in their play. Then half-time came, then they rested, they came out for the second half and slipped into that sort of laboured play again. So I think if half-time didn't come when it came, if that makes sense, then you would have seen Spain go on and score a few, I think. Sisto is a Danish danger man, Fionn. I think he plays for Denmark at least.
Poulsen's good as well.
Poulsen's a decent player. They've got Christiansen in the defence of Chelsea. Yeah, it's a decent side. They're not that great to watch, to be honest, Denmark, though. They're not fantastic. They're not that expansive. They don't have a lot of pace, but... Tell you who's really good, Mark. Well, not really good, but he's a decent player. That that number 18 for Peru, what was he called? Carrillo, I think he was called. Look at that. Do you see the Spanish fans eating the pies?
Yeah. Well, the Russians are loving it anyway.
Yeah, of course they will, mate. As I said, they've got to keep their head up high regardless of what happens, because to keep Spain at 1-1 for this amount of time is a fantastic achievement.
Marvin Millen says both teams are allowed a fourth sub in extra time. Rodrigo's going to come on for Spain. Russia have already used their fourth. About time. You know what? I've been thinking this for a while. Why is Hierro not gone 2 up front? I mean, I'm baffled by that. Then they're not doing anything defensively. Why not? You know, again, it's the Spain way. We're just going to keep to our philosophy and pass it around and try and work our way through. Get 2 bloody strikers on.
You're not wrong, mate. I 100% agree with you, yeah. Rodrigo, correct me if I'm wrong, he's quite a tall player, is that right?
He's not super tall, but he'd be taller than Aspas, who's...
Well, he'd give him something different than Aspas, definitely. I don't know much about Rodrigo, to be honest with you, mate.
He was at Spurs, flopped.
Oh, right.
And I think he's at... is he at Sevilla now, or Valencia? Or?
I think he's at Valencia. That's the name I was going to come out of, Valencia. Well, Valencia have done well this season. Last season. Rodrigo.
Bloody hell, Russia just can't keep the ball.
He's at Valencia, yeah.
Thanks, Abit Krishna. Says, I love the guys, I love the channel. Good.
We love you, mate. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, I've got it wrong. I am Jonesy. I always get Soldado and Rodrigo mixed up.
Yeah, no, Soldado was at Spurs and flopped, wasn't it? I think it was a mistake not to take Fabregas. Would you have taken Fabregas?
I don't know. I mean, they've still got Isco, Asensio, Silva,
I wouldn't have taken
Iniesta. They've got very good midfield players.
He just offers. He offers.
They've not even used Thiago today. He's a good player.
Yeah. Fabregas doesn't offer anything different to the players they've already got.
No, and he hasn't had a great season for Chelsea.
No, not at all.
So I wouldn't. I don't think they made a mistake there.
No. I can see this game going a penalty shootout. I mean, with 2 minutes off half time now and extra time, and once again, nothing's really happened, has it? Nothing at all.
No, Spain. I mean, if you're Spain, there should be some desperation to you, because a penalty. I think Spain will win a penalty shootout. I do, but it's a lottery, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't understand how. I don't understand how it's gone this wrong. Because if they get through, Spain, right? There's just so many negatives and hardly any positives to take out of this game, because they should comfortably be beating this Russian team.
Golovin could have got a yellow card there. Showed his studs, but he did win the ball. Didn't get a yellow card, sorry.
Spain have bossed this half. They've bossed the whole game, Andrew, but haven't created anything. That's their issue.
Well, I hope we do get penalties now we're in extra time, because we've all had to give up another half an hour of our day for this shit. So I at least hope we do get penalties, but, you know, I do feel that Spain will get a chance at some point. Piqué heads it at the keeper there.
Well, we're almost into half time of extra time now. And Asensio playing really bad. Yeah, that actually... He got the ball. If Golovin didn't get the ball there, that was dangerous. But, Asensio, I mean, we talked about it a little while ago. What's he done? He's done absolutely nothing, has he? Done absolutely nothing. You said before the game, and I'd agree with you, that Asensio's playing is going to bring a bit more pace and urgency, but he's none of those things he's brought to the game.
We've got half time here now.
Yeah, nice one. I'll stop the timer.
Asensio's gone off anyway for Rodrigo.
All right, well, there you go. It's probably the right decision, to be honest. He's done absolutely nothing.
Right, so
You can tell by the yawn what type of game it is, lads.
it hasn't been great.
No.
I've got to say it's not been great because the you either know you either want Russia to win through penalties or Spain are going to score in normal time, and that's not an interesting game, is it? It's just really backs to the wall.
Oh my God, Jared's hit it spot on. Mark, I'm going to let you have this half time, mate. And then I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Danzil says this game is just awful to watch. Daniel Rowland, is this the first That's Football watch along in extra time? It is. We could get our first penalty shootout, which is going to be really interesting because Xander's going to be a bit behind me, isn't he? So, I think Russia will nick a goal in the last 5-10 minutes of extra time as Russia is settling down and playing very low energy. De Gea has been awful this World Cup. Sandro Kid. Oh, come on. You can't. He's done nothing in this game that would make you think he's had a bad game. Hexus says, is Argentina-France the best game of the World Cup? I still think Spain-Portugal was the best game for me, but a lot of people did enjoy that yesterday. Sebastian says, I'm swear I'm the only person enjoying this game. It takes all sorts, Sebastian. That's what I would say. And everybody likes different things. Some people absolutely love watching Spain. Some people find them utterly boring. If Spain go out, it's coming home, says Sean Butler. But to be honest with you, let's flip that around. Should any of the big teams be fearful of Spain anyway? You know, they struggle to create chances. I mean, even against the team that's giving them possession and giving up a lot of space, they've not created enough. So I think Spain are only going to win games against teams that you know, go gung ho against them. I'm not massively convinced by Spain. And if Croatia get past Denmark, I think Spain are going to have to go up many gears if they come through this game. Anyway, subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. I'm sure we will hit 41,000 soon, but please share it, subscribe. We're doing a World Cup watch along for every game, and we're getting very, very close to it. I think we're only 18 subscribers away now. So
yes,
thanks everyone who's getting involved in this community. And we are 15 minutes away from a penalty shootout, which, you know, I hope we do get there, but I ain't getting excited yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, we're in extra time now, as you said, and we've sat through, 105 minutes of that crap. So let's at least get some excitement in a penalty shootout. But as you said, you wouldn't bet on it, would you? I would still predict Spain to get a goal, Ramos header or something like that, and go through, because they have got the quality. And naturally, Russia will be tiring severely because they've worked their arses off for 105 minutes chasing the ball. I don't know if you understand how difficult, if you haven't played football, difficult it is off the ball. You constantly got to be chasing it, and Russia had hardly any of the ball, and therefore obviously Spain as well will have a lot more energy than Russia. So they've got to try and stay focused, and if they can do then and continue their game plan, then we might see penalties. But I wouldn't bet on it as of yet. De Gea's been a passenger, yeah, mate. PK and Sergio Ramos have been passengers in terms of all they've done is just sat there and knock the ball about a bit. But have they had, apparently, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently Darryl Bell says they've had 1,007 passes, apparently. Do you think Spain are being too conservative because of coaching change before the World Cup? I think they've had enough time to adapt now. I don't think that's necessarily the reason. I think that might be the reason as why they might be a bit unsettled and they might not be at full strength. But conservative, that's not down to the change in manager, I don't think. Unless Mark has a different opinion. But
no, I think that they still would have played the same way.
Yeah.
And they're getting a lot. I was just looking on social media there, especially on Twitter. They're getting a lot of stick, Spain. A lot of stick.
What, for being
a lot of things about, you know, fantastic talent, but ultimately really boring. Some people saying that part of the bus football is more entertaining than tiki taka because at least you've got you know, you can hit on the break.
Well, yeah. What France did yesterday, mate, is they sat back, tried to counter attack and hit on the break. That's far more interesting and exciting what Spain are doing now. Far more interesting. But the thing is with Russia, their sort of game plan is, right, we'll sit back, defend, and try and knock it up to our striker. But the striker can't hold it up, and he's just isolated up front. So they've had nothing on the counter-attack at absolutely nothing. So, as you said, De Gea's been a passenger. So, we will have to be from penalties if they were to go through Russia.
Good run by Rodrigo down the right there. Got his shot away. It came out to a Spanish player who didn't catch it right, and Russia managed to clear. That could have been it. They managed to catch him on the break there for the first time. Great block from Russia, says Jay Hart. Little bit of excitement there for you, Aaron, who says it's painfully boring. It was a good chance for Spain. It's the first time they've really caught Russia out.
What a save, apparently.
Good work by Rodrigo.
Yes, I'm watching it back now. It's a good run, isn't it? It's a good step over as well. Sends the player the wrong way.
He's been one man of the match, the keeper. I think he's made 2 key saves now in this game. And, I mean, as you're going into penalties, is he going to be even more a man of the match?
I think if it goes to penalties, then it'll be one of the keepers, wouldn't it? It'll be one of the keepers that you give man of the match. And Akinfeev, as you said...
and deservedly so, because I don't think the outfield players have done anywhere near enough.
But I don't think Akinfeev for Russia, the keeper, has done anything spectacular. He's not done David De Gea-esque saves for Manchester United, but, he's made saves. I mean, that's more than anyone else has done in terms of their performance. So, yeah. Oh, that was a lovely little dummy. Did you see that, the replay? Where he stepped over it and it went through the player's legs. That was beautiful, that. Fantastic.
I'm Jones. He says, used to enjoy watching Spain with the likes of Xavi and David Villa, but I have to agree with you guys. I find them very boring to watch.
Well, guys, we're on...
They need to change their way of playing, I think.
But I think it's so ingrained in the plays, from grassroots football. It's all the same, and it will take a long, long time to change that.
I agree with Nital. I think if Croatia get through and continue to play how they have, Spain will struggle.
Yes, I agree with that. We're on 40,986 subscribers, lads. 14 of you to subscribe and then hit our goal of 41,000 for today, which would be absolutely fantastic. So, got a fair few of you watching. Get involved, get subscribing if you haven't already. If you have, share the video to get people involved. It's a fantastic community we're building up here. So, just get involved and get in the comments and share your opinions. De Gea will be man of the match. That's Sam Som. He reckons that he'll probably save a few in the penalty shootout.
They're getting a little bit closer, Spain. They've still got 10 minutes as well. They're finding a little bit more space.
Finally.
Tiredness obviously hitting Russia a little bit as they get closer to that penalty thing. They'll start to believe it, and will that make them switch off a little bit?
I think so. And I think it's just the fatigue. Like I said, they've just chased the ball for 115 minutes or something, 110 minutes or something, and they've just put in an absolute shift. So they're going to be absolutely knackered, and I'm scared they're going to lose concentration and focus.
Good cross that was, and still on the attack, Spain here in the box. People queuing up, but PK can't put the cross in.
As always with Spain, can't put the cross in. Russia look dead on their feet. George Carl, I think so as well, mate. I think just knackered is the word. Absolutely shattered. Very boring, Spain. Almost think they want teams to roll over for them. Sorry, Spain, but you need to change tactics. That's from Shivan. Yeah, I think so. I'd agree with that. PK trying to do step-overs. I don't know. Well, about 9 minutes left, 8 minutes left of this 120-minute game. Plus stoppage time then, of course, but I'm still going to go with a Spanish win. I can't go away from that until it goes to penalty shootout. I cannot guarantee that Russia will hold out in open play. I can't. Spain have got too much quality.
I think even if it goes to penalties, I think Spain will still be big favourites. Like George Kyle said a few minutes ago, they've got the team technique and the poise, haven't they? And that's what penalties are all about. I mean, these Russians, you can just imagine they're going to smash them all, aren't they? And maybe Spain have got that technique on the ball. Brilliant play by Isco there. It was the It was the right knock on your FIFA button. That was where you just drag it with your right foot, and he pulled a free kick out.
I think apparently Russia have had 20% possession, which would not surprise me. Let's have a little look. Russia, yeah, they've had 20%. Spain have had 80% of the ball, which is absolutely mad. Absolutely mad.
Art, music, food, live life. Says nobody is favourite in penalties. Stop being a dumb commentator. I'm not a commentator, and I'm not dumb either, because they want a VAR here. Spanish are all over the referee. If it's a VAR, it's a VAR, isn't it? They'll get it right.
That is the good thing, isn't it? There's no injustice anymore. Apparently, oh mate, if it is VAR, I'll cry.
They might do.
Oh, does it? Have you seen the replay? Does it look like it? We're just waiting. I reckon it will be. Oof. I've just seen it. Was it? What do you reckon, mate?
No, I don't know. He might do. I don't know.
If he gives, is he gone to the
No,
monitor?
he's playing on.
Yes! Come on!
You know what? For once, I really didn't want that to be a VAR.
No. I would hate for it for Spain now to nick it. It'd be so boring, wouldn't it? And it'd be the epitome of what we didn't want to see. Big teams just grinding the result out. No penalty. Brilliant. He's playing on. Well, fantastic then. We've got, what, 5, 6, 7 minutes left of this game, plus stoppage time? 5 minutes? Yeah, it's not a penalty, lads, so it's still 1-1. It went to VAR, decided it wasn't a penalty, which is fantastic. Nah, that's not a penalty for me. He is on him, but that is not enough for Ramos to go down, and that's not a penalty for me.
Chucking it down Moraine as well, which we probably can't see with your TV screens, but we did just see a shot a minute ago. I thought that would go to VAR, to be honest. Oh, what was that? Pull back there by Russia. What a chance. He's blasted it vertically to the halfway line when he just needed to play a 5-yard pass.
That's the nerve that they don't have in the final third, isn't it? They don't have that ice-cold characteristic. They're going to be nervous, and I'm afraid if it does go to penalties, that will benefit Spain.
Shivan says that many so-called big teams are being humbled by hard work and very well thought-out tactics.
But the issue is the big teams are grinding it out, which is so annoying to see. Yeah, it's pissing it down. It's pissing it down, isn't it, over there?
Corner for Russia. It's probably about their only chance they're going to get to try and score a goal. I think if they got a goal now, it would be absolutely
madness,
frantic from Spain in the last couple of minutes. But we are getting closer and closer to that 30 minutes.
Come on, it's exciting. It hasn't been the greatest of games, but it is still exciting, isn't it? Yeah, 7 more till 41k, but we're concentrating on the game now, lads. This is a fantastic end to a game. Hopefully the rain benefits Russia. I don't know how it would, but I just got a feeling it is going to benefit them. To be fair, it was raining in Russia when United won it on penalty shootout.
"27 minutes.
And 26 and a half. Brennan Bates says definitely not a rewatch of a game. I think, yeah, it's not, is it? It really isn't a rewatch. You're going to have to keep us up to date, pal, because I'm just seeing the corner go now. I'm admiring the determination from this Russia team so much. Sebastian Suglas, yeah, 100%, 100%. They have been right up for it and defended for their lives. As you say, very, very determined and fair play to him. Credit where credit's due.
Just feel there's going to be another chance in this game. You just feel there will be another chance, and it clearly will come for Spain because Russia just done nothing. I think they've had a corner in the last hour. That's about as far as they've gone. And,
yeah.
They've got nothing. They're not even. They've got nothing anyway. It really is every man behind the ball. There's no out ball for them. It's going to keep coming back.
There's no out ball, and when there is an out ball, it doesn't work. He's so isolated. It is just let's get it to penalties. That's fully the mindset for the Russians, as you say. In the last hour, I think in the whole game they've had about 4 corners, and that's been their only outlet. Oh my god.
They're slipping all over the place, the Russians. They need to get some bigger boots on. I'm just reading the comments and waiting for everyone to say goal, says Dinesh. Yeah. Well, we've got probably about 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Just about to enter the 29th minute, and I'm sure he'll add on a minute because there was a bit of stoppages for the VAR. So 2 minutes left. And this is what tends to happen. There'll be a goal now. Yeah. We've all invested all our time in this, waiting for penalties, and then it'll get robbed from us at the last minute. But
happened to me in the Europa League semi-final, Marseille, RB Leipzig, I think it was. I invested all that time. I stayed live because I was doing Arsenal Atletico, and they just nicked a goal, Marseille.
Well,
no outball is there for Russia at all. At all.
29 minutes 30, and it's a goal kick
for
Russia.
Okay, just keep the ball, keep it. Just keep. Don't try and win it, because if you try and win it, I guarantee you Spain will go up the other end and score. Just keep the ball and get it to penalties. That's your best hope as a Russian. Well, mate, 130 minutes in. Who's been your standout player? I know what you're gonna say. It's the Russian keeper, isn't it?
Yes, definitely for me.
Yeah, well, there's been no standout player, and it's ridiculous to say the Russian keeper, but that has to be it for me. Like you, he's made, 1 or 2, decent saves, but no one stood out at all. But hopefully we'll get a hero for Russia in the penalty shootout. 1 minute. Come on, Russia. Come on.
Well, I think that's going to be more or less it. We're on the halfway line, 30 seconds into the last minute.
Well, you're going to be talking me through the penalty shootout, pal.
Yes, I will. You'll have to. Your face will be the reaction.
Yeah.
You like being on the radio. Like listening on the radio.
That's all right, mate. You're my radio. Yeah, that'll be it now, all
right? Russia just on the attack. De Gea's got it. He should be blowing up.
I'm nervous. I'm actually nervous for Russia. I really want them to win. Really. If
we got penalties.
Yes!
We got penalties.
Come on, Russia. Right, now, Mark, going into penalties, I think we're both going for Spain, right? That's what we've got to predict. But I guess we both predicted Spain to win this game, but that didn't happen. So, I mean, what do you see happening in this penalty shootout?
I think it's nerves against technique. George Kyle said it before, didn't he? It's Spain will have the better technique because they're the better players, but it's in Russia. It's nervous. I mean, it will be in the back of the Spanish players' heads. If you lose this, it's an absolute shocker. For Russia, it's like, actually, if we lose this, we're going to go out as heroes, aren't we? Because we've kept it for so long.
Yeah.
For De Gea, it's a chance to, be a hero against the Spanish press and that have turned against him a bit. For the Russian goalkeeper, who was my man of the match anyway, it's the chance to solidify that. But I think in this, I have to go with Spain. I want Russia to win it because I think it would be great for the tournament. But I have to go with the fact that Spain, they've got the bigger characters, they've got the bigger experience, and they've got the bigger technique. So, yeah.
I mean, you see the Russian fans just then in the crowd celebrating as if they've won the game to get it to penalties. So, as you say, regardless of what happens today, the Russians should hold their head up high because they've done absolutely fantastic to get it to penalties and keep it at 1-1 against a side with the amount of talent that Spain have. It is a fantastic achievement for Russia. So regardless of what happens, they should be proud of themselves. But I echo your thoughts, mate. I think Spain, they're going to have the nerve. They're going to be able to keep it cool. They're going to have the technique. And as you say, Russia, they're going to be nervous. It's in their home country. They've got the whole expectation of the country on their shoulders. And I think
today is not added. I mean, one good point I just saw there in the live comments is that the Russian keeper's had a lot to do. De Gea's had nothing to do.
Might not
now
be warmed
that
up.
doesn't necessarily mean a lot, but he's not really had anything to do for 3 hours. De Gea. It's not like he can go and practice in goal and have a few penalties either. So.
You might be a bit rusty, is what you're saying, essentially.
Yeah. Well, you might. Penalties are a weird thing. And the fine margins if somebody misses. But I still think it'll be a massive. Well, it'll be a massive shock, obviously. But I still would be very shocked if Spain went out because they've got the better players. They've got the better experienced players.
Yeah, you're spot on, mate.
Maybe Russia. I assume will have practiced their penalties, so let's see.
Oh mate, I'm so nervous. I'm just so nervous. I really want Russia to go through. Really want Russia. We're 2 subscribers away from 41k, but that's irrelevant at this point. I just want Russia to go through, mate. I just want Russia to go through.
Yeah, if you are new and you have switched on for the penalties, make sure you subscribe. We are doing a World Cup watch along for every single game. This is our first penalty shootout, which is obviously exciting. I don't think the toss makes any difference because it's going to be mainly Russian fans. I don't know where there will be Spanish fans there, but
I think it might benefit Russia to not have it down their end, because they might. I don't know. I think if you've got all the Russian fans there, they might get a bit more nervous, if that makes sense.
The goalkeeper for Russia is actually their captain as well, which I don't know whether that makes any difference. I don't know. I've got to be honest with you, I don't know a lot about these Russian players at all. I imagine historically most Russian players do play in Russia. So,
well, we know about Cheryshev and Golovin. They've obviously got quality.
Akinviv, who's the goalkeeper, he plays for CSK Moscow.
He's not great. He's not great.
One of the best teams in Russia. So, a lot of people in the live comments saying, "Come on, Russia." De Gea will. Obviously, well, the thing is, I've not enjoyed Spain today, but I am a Manchester United fan, and obviously I love De Gea, so it's a tough one, but I think I fancy Spain to come through. Iniesta here first of all, and I just think the technique's going to fly through. So here we go with the first one, and Iniesta steps up. And he scores it. I don't think there was any doubt that Iniesta wouldn't do that. So Iniesta scores the first one.
I'm having a breakdown at this point, mate. Honestly.
So it went quite close down the middle as well. Keeper had already committed himself, but very important to get the first penalty put away. If Russia want any chance, they've got to score this.
So it's 1-0 Spain. 1-0 Spain.
First penalty for Russia. Oh, I thought De Gea had saved it. It's in from number 10.
I'm having a breakdown. It's not healthy.
I did think De Gea had got that. He went the right way, and I have to watch this back. Oh, he'll get some criticism for that.
What, De Gea?
He gets a firm hand on it, and he doesn't keep it out.
Oh my God.
He just couldn't get it.
Right, so it's 1-1.
Yeah, PK 1-1 then. I'd have to see that penalty back again, but I think maybe the power was just too much for De Gea. But 1-1, he got a hand on it. Scott Boswell's right. So PK steps up. 2-1. The technique's there from the Spanish, and this is going to be the problem. So 2-1 to Spain.
De Gea should have done better with that first Russian free penalty.
They're not good penalties from Spain. They're just the keeper's going the wrong way.
David De Gea should have saved that first one for Russia. For me.
2-1 to Spain.
2-1 Spain. Okay, we're at 2-1 Spain, lads. Obviously out of 5.
Well, this is a defender coming up for Russia, so that's never a good sign. I think this is the thing, though. It's determination against talent, isn't it? Russia have just got people who, I'll have a go. I'll take one.
Yeah.
He scored it.
Okay, we're
De
good.
Gea sent the wrong way. 2-2.
2-2. We're good.
39 he is, number 4. Big long run up, little stutter, and then again just making sure he hits the target.
That's all you got to do, isn't it? Hit the target and hope the keeper goes the other way.
So who's up for next for Spain? So we're 2-2.
Okay.
There's just no separating these teams. It's Pepsi coming up next, or as other people know him as Coke.
Oh, I didn't understand it.
Saved.
Yes!
Saved.
Come on!
Don't shout that loud. If you're living in Spain, Xander, you'll get
Oh,
assassinated.
shit. Sorry, shit. They can actually hear me as well, mate. I'm not even trying.
I'd bloody love to live. I'd love to be in England in a penalty shootout and live next door to somebody who's supporting somebody else, going, yeah.
They can actually hear me as well.
So yeah, it's Russia have got to score. This is really important. England used to do this quite a lot. There'd be a missed penalty or something. You've got to score the one after the miss because you've got to get that momentum going. So it's Golovin actually against De Gea. Oh, De Gea underneath him.
Is he scored?
Again, I don't know. It's gone in.
Oh, okay.
3-2 to Russia.
Yes.
And again, I don't know. Oh, it's De Gea. I don't know. I think De Gea's going to get some criticism
He
here.
should have saved that first one, and I haven't seen the second one yet, but he should have saved it, the first one.
I think he should have saved the second one.
Oh, my God.
It's very central, and it goes underneath him. He'll get absolute pelters in Spain, won't he?
Oh, they're not a big fan of him because they don't see him week in, week out. So all they see of him is his Spanish performances.
Ramos scores.
Oh, shit.
They needed that.
So what's it now?
Spain needed that one. If they missed that one, they're in. Well, if they'd missed that one and then the Russian comes up, they've won it. So
it's
we are
now 3-3 with a taker in hand, if that makes sense.
With a taker in hand for Russia.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Good penalty by Ramos, to be fair.
So if they scored it,
he's such a leader, isn't he? I know he's such an arsehole, but he's a leader as well.
He's an arsehole, yeah.
Wow. De Gea needs to get one of these saved. Because if they get this one...
Then Spanish need to score the next one if they get this one.
Yeah. And he scored it!
Yes!
4-2. 4-2 to... 4-3, isn't it?
4-3
Russia. One penalty each next.
If they miss this one...
got to score this one, and then De Gea's got to save it. It's down the middle again. I tell you what, De Gea's going to get pelters for this.
They need to score this one, lads. Spain need to score to go through. Well, to even have a chance of going through at this point. If they miss, they're out. If they score and Russia score the next one, they're also out.
Here we go.
Talk to me.
He's nervous. The Spanish player is nervous. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. I can't read the bloody name. Is it Aspas? Aspas. Oh, he's missed it! Yeah! Spain are out! I don't believe it! I do not believe it! They've been knocked out. The Spanish are out. It's coming home if you're English. No, I'm only joking. But Spain are out of the World Cup. Spain are out of the World Cup. And that is absolutely massive news. He was man of the match before the penalty shootout. He's definitely man of the match now. I've got to say, I'm sure De Gea will get some criticism because he was close to the penalties, but all the players against the Spanish team, they didn't do enough.
Mate, I fell over when I celebrated. I flat on my arse. Flat on my arse. Oh my God, Spain are out. Spain are out. Oh my God. I cannot believe it, Mark. I cannot believe it. Spain are out of the World Cup and Russia beat them. Russia go through into the quarter-finals of the World Cup. This means that there will be definitely, apart from England, if England get there, a team that hasn't won it in the World Cup final. Oh my God, on my heart, mate, I fell flat on my arse. I grazed my leg.
Well, you know what? We got real drama at the end there. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to be back in an hour with Croatia versus Denmark. But I'm going to leave you with it, Xander, because I know I had to do the penalties there. So get interacting with the live comments and enjoy it, mate. And I'll join everyone in an hour.
Cheers, mate. I'll speak to you in a bit.
What a game.
Oh.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. For the wise words of Alex Ferguson. But they... Oh, my God, lads. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe what I just seen. Spain go out. Russia. How the... Guys, get in your comments. I'm going to be reading your comments. But how the bloody hell... By the way, this is a houseplant. It's called Madame Anne Fellaini. How the bloody hell did Russia... They kept it. It was just the same the whole game. 80% possession for Spain. They had, right. I can't believe. I'm speechless. I am absolutely speechless. I'm not lying. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm absolutely speechless. I'm not gonna lie. I think the neighbours might want to kill me. Got the tree out, mate. Got it. What do you all think then? They're all crying. Ramos. I cannot believe it. I cannot flipping believe it. I feel like I'm dreaming. Rogvi says he feels like he's dreaming. Guys, get involved. Get involved. This is ridiculous, not fair. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Russia, at the beginning of the game, I was dreaming. I was hoping. I was wishing. What's happened? Oh, God, I can't believe it. Spain crash out of the bloody World Cup. This means that, and in the World Cup final, there will be a team, bar England if they get there, that has never won it before. Unbelievable. Unbloody believable. Spain are out. Long live the Russian motherland. Fair play to them. And I'm sure jubilation is the one word I've got to think. Jubilation. Because that, I can't even think about the scenes. Limbs in the crowd. Just limbs. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Sorry lads, this isn't the best analysis, but I'm just so shocked. I was so sure that Spain were going to win this game and win this. It just felt like a dream that Russia were going to win it. No, Pancake says, hashtag don't blame De Gea. Look, I'm a massive fan of De Gea. I think he's one of the best in the world. But he should have saved at least 2 of those penalties, especially the first one. He got there, but his hand was weak and he let it in. It's his fault. Well, it's not his fault, but do you know what I mean? Like, he had a big part to play and he'll get belters. As Mark said, he definitely needed to save those. I mean, guys, get subscribing. What drama we've had in this game. We hit 41k. Let's go for 41,100 in this stream. I'm joking. But just get involved, lads. We've got a fair few of you watching, so get subscribing. Mark's later, in about an hour, the Croatia versus Denmark, which should be a fantastic game as well. So get involved. Unbelievable scenes, this. Unbelievable scenes. Remember De Gea in pre-season, pen shootout, defensive football wins. I mean, look, there's a lot of criticism about defensive football, and I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't have liked what Russia have done today. Just sat back the ball and try and counter-attack. Now, the counter-attack didn't work, hence why they got to penalties. But fair play to them. Defensive football has come under a lot of scrutiny over the last 2 years or so, and it's won today. Defensive football has won today. What if Mexico knocked out Brazil? This is the best World Cup so far. I mean, I've only ever watched 3. 2010. Because I'm born in 2000, so 2010, kind of, 2014 heavily, and then obviously 2018 now. Best World Cup I've ever watched. Unbelievable. Spain, look at their look at their team. Look at their team, right? I'm getting carried away, I need to keep my nerve here. Look at that team, right? Here we go. De Gea, Nacho, Piqué, Ramos, Jordi Alba, Koke, Busquets, Asensio, David Silva, Isco, Diego Costa, Carvajal, Iniesta, Rodrigo, Iago Aspas, Lucas Vázquez, Cesar Azpilicueta, Pepe. They've got so many good players. So many good players. How, if you look at that Russian team, I know 2 of them. 2 of them I know. How the bloody hell have they... I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. England have a chance. Football's coming home. It's coming home. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but it's open now, lads. Look, Croatia are now the best side that can get to the final from this half of the tournament. Unbelievable. Akinfeev. I mean, guys, get in your comments. Who was your man of the match? I'm pretty sure it's got to be Akinfeev for everyone. Saved a few pens. Made a good few saves as well in the actual game, but unbelievable scenes. This I can't believe what I'm seeing. I cannot believe it. Love watching Ramos cry. Look, I like Ramos. He's A-grade shithouse, isn't he? He's an A-grade shithouse, but he's a great centre back. He's a great centre back. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Akinfeev needs to go to the Prem. He's like 38 or something like that, isn't he? Means nothing, Sander. How does this not mean anything, mate? Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. As I said, thought the game Russia broke Spain's playing style. Yeah, look, we thought Spain was shit today. There's no, don't bat around it. Spain were awful, okay? No urgency, no creativity, just kept the ball knocking it about. They were awful, okay? But Russia, fair play to them, credit where credit's due. They've hosted a fantastic tournament and they've defended for their lives today and they've played a game of their lives. Yes, they didn't offer anything going, oh, she's fit. Yes, they didn't offer anything going forward, but defensively, superb. So fair play to them. Got a donation here, £2 from Sims. Thanks for your contributions. He says Croatia, Colombia or England in the final likely. Or Sweden or Switzerland, mate. Sweden, Switzerland, Colombia, England or Croatia in the final. What? What? Unbelievable. Unbloody-lievable. One of these teams will be in the final. England, Colombia, Russia, Sweden, Switzerland, Croatia or Denmark. That's what I said. Mate, I can't believe that. Guys, France and Brazil are still alive. Don't write them off so easily. No, but they're in the other half of the tournament, mate. France and Brazil in the other half of the tournament. So that lot can get to a final and that lot can get to the final. This lot is England, Colombia, Denmark, Croatia, Switzerland or Sweden. And Russia. Don't forget Brazil, no, but they can also get... There's two halves of the tournament, lads. So the group I just read out, that's that group. That can get to the final. And then the other lot, France, Brazil, all that lot. Like Belgium, Japan, all that lot. That's another half that can get to the final. This is England's chance now. Look, regardless, England have got to beat Colombia on Tuesday. That's not a foregone conclusion whatsoever. Colombia are a fantastic side, so whether England could beat them, I don't know. But it's going to be an interesting World Cup. It is unbelievable. Bloody believable. I can't believe it. I'm shocked. Shell-shocked. Ramos crying is my drug. I'm not that sadistic, to be honest with you, mate. I don't like to see any... I feel bad for Spain. I feel bad for Hierro. I feel bad for the people of Spain. I feel bad for Ramos, but... I'm not sadistic in terms of... I'm not happy that they're losing and hurt. I'm happy that Russia are through because I want the weaker teams to do well. De Gea is a joke. Look, De Gea's been awful this tournament. We've seen Argentina, Portugal, Spain all go home. What? Unbelievable stuff. But I think Iniesta couldn't watch. That's sad as well, though. Iniesta, that was his last World Cup. That was Iniesta's last World Cup as well. But yeah, De Gea, he's been poor this tournament. I think he's best keeper in the world, but he's been poor this tournament. He should have saved a few of those penalties. I'm just watching this last Iago Aspas. He missed it. Oh, I feel bad for Iago Aspas, to be honest. I feel bad for Iago Aspas. That's sad, to be honest. Like, you don't wish that on anyone. You don't wish that on anyone. Jubilation for the Russians, but you don't wish that on anyone. He'll have nightmares. Germany gone home as well. They've won it before. I'm not so sad for Spain. Yeah, but it is sad to see, like, Iniesta and obviously Iago Aspas. Fabregas's hands in his... Oh, that's watching the live reaction. I feel so bad. I feel bad. I'm not sadistic. I feel bad for the Spanish, but it's fantastic for the Russians. I'm seeing their reaction now. Brilliant. Akinfeev save with his feet. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the longest stream I've ever... This is a 3-hour stream. No sympathy for Ramos. Dislike him. My only sympathy is with David De Gea, who has been treated badly by Spanish press and fans. That is true, although I have sympathy for Ramos as well. I've got sympathy for everyone. Iniesta, it's his last tournament. I feel bad for Hierro. I feel bad for everyone. I'm an empathetic person. I therefore, because I'm empathetic, I feel the Russians' joy, if that makes sense. That shot from Russian keeper will be kept in a museum. Oh, the shoe. Yeah, who saved it. It's coming home. The thing is, nowadays, defences are getting hard to break down and defence tactics are being used everywhere. Well, as I said, Mark has been, and me as well, been criticising defensive football, but defensive football won today, and fair play to him. Also, do you guys rate the new mic? It's decent, isn't it? It's decent. I like it. It's better than this. I don't even know why this still got this in. Lopetegui costed them big time. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to say. All I can say is it's absolute scenes, and I'm shocked, shell-shocked. I mean, join Mark Lake. Can we get 3... I'll leave when we've got 41,050 subscribers, because let's get 3 more of you involved, and then we can be happy, leave this stream happy. But unbelievable. Unbloody believable. I can't understand. I'm just shocked, mate. There is likely to be mock teams left like England. But that's interesting, mate. That's what... The fact that England, Colombia, Japan, Russia, Denmark, Croatia, just the fact that they're still in the tournament and one of them will get to the final makes it exciting, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm actually sad seeing them cry me too, mate. England! England! As A says. Spain suck. I mean, they've not been fantastic. We have hit 41,050, which is absolutely fantastic. Cheers all for joining me. I am going to get off now. I mean, join us live in literally about 45 minutes because Mark will be live with Croatia versus Denmark, which should be a fantastic game today. But what a game this was. Spain crash out of the World Cup and Russia progress. Football's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home. I'll speak to you all soon. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. I'll speak to you all soon, lads. Join Mark later, and I'll be back. Mark's live with tonight. I love you all. Thanks for everyone that's got involved. Speak to you all soon.